now I'm stronger. Ignite the fire once more, but I don't want you. Tracing city lights, make it right. I don't wanna press play. Ooh, days washing away. Facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in. Waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. Facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in. Waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time. 'Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream. Waiting for a sign that takes me back.
主动的一个先手出击，换掉了对方的一个幻影长矛手，目前打了一个1换3，在了高台位上的一个 PA 有点尴尬，4个人直接围殴他，没有办法。吹风落地过后还有变羊，黑牛再跟输出，
后物一波有大，直接开找到，全部人贴脸，美杜莎血量瞬间见底，直接被秒。圣狼刺客杀红脸还在往前追，血接黑鸟再次击杀，地之后被残云吸住，血量瞬间见底，你们倒了。残云吸住，黑鸟给羊，这把有危险，买活死吗？买活死。
SK 咬大，接上一剑有机会，两个人全中了，直接杀对方谁？推了一下，布拉德还是死了。这波就找美杜莎，残影加上穿刺已经没蓝了，那感觉走不了了。
包过来打一个先手，这个位置美杜莎没蓝，这个被呼唤晕死了。
显然季拿下了这场胜利，也拿到了下赛季 S 组的名额。
Get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream.
加两个
超级跳刀过来一波突如其来的大招，先把小黑盾打出来，这里还空插了小黑，出来之后再被羊拉住小黑，连死2次，然后选择买活小强，这波是一个地保，看这波谜团大招拉住后面的一个小黑 SF 摇出大招，再找后面的一个剑圣，剑圣也被秒。
We tried to work this out before, but now I'm stronger. Ignite the fire once more, but I don't want you. Tracing city lights, make it right.
马尔斯过来打先手，一毛扎住这边的一个毒龙 ，TP 变身过来打输出，冰魂的大招也跟过来。这波毒龙好像第一时间要先死，精灵的位置好像也被找到。精灵毒龙阵亡，精灵是选择买活，白牛赶紧冲过来，牛大招也甩过了，白牛大招残血，换血换出来了。
哇，隐身符
摇大招，1炮2炮，一下3炮，
非常完美。
我今天追下来，九仙被先手好像要直接被秒掉了，羊这边没有开出大招，
直接上了，这一炮伤害差点搞了 DP， 还有雪球裹了出来。
但是 DP 是一个超级残血，能吸回来吗？吹风吹自己，
两个住吸回来，
漂亮的勾引，但是石灵剑士的残局滚 ，DP 能不能活下来？被撞晕了，但是又被弹上来高光。 emo 水人直接波脸上打了一波输出，还是把这个飞机给打死了。
两边好像要破雾，蓝走第一个是直接破雾，
跳走漂亮。然后水人这个位置切入，直接打飞机，有精灵的加持，这里飞机还是活了过来。正面在硬刚，中王交出大招，后面一个电魂，这个飞机一倒，正面战场应该是否了。后面烂羊到了死亡先知，大招插起来，配合紫猫切入， 死亡限制被残银吸，紫毛伤害全部打满，死亡限制又是被秒，买不活。然后这样的话，海明也是接连倒下，布鲁王交第一条命，
起来应该被5个人围殴。
对，小白又是在外面只能看进不去。这样阿 Sir 也是打出了机器，我们恭喜 IG 战队啊，击败了阿 Sir， 还是保住了自己中国区第1的这个位置。
Lay me by the bay, bathe me in the gray. Tear away my skin, see me from within. Waterborne, I'm rain, thunder, ocean born. You can't drown me. You can't drown me. Heart close to the moon and the Neptune. River scores on my resistance. Lay me by your side, sway me with your tide. We've got a tempest inside. Waterborne, rain, thunder, ocean born. You can't drown me. Close to the moon and the Neptune. River scores are
Welcome everyone to the Chinese Upper Division DPC Season 2. Whether you're here as an enthusiast of Chinese Dota, you're a European cooling off after the Nigma Secret match, or you're an American trying to go to sleep, it's cool. I'm the host. You're going to go to sleep real quick. My name's Tsunami, and I'm joined by Lizard and Black for this 1BO3 of today, EHOME versus Elephant. High expectations, namely for Elephant, because I didn't really get to watch too much Chinese Dota last season, and I hear that there's all these superstar players on there, and then somehow they don't make it to the major. And then during the major, I hear ROTK is going to be joining them as a coach. Lizard, surely they're major contenders now.
There's a lot of teams that have experimented with playing without a coach recently. Virtus Pro from CIS didn't really work out for them. A lot of teams that tried to have their coach as a stand-in as well didn't work out well. Now Elephant have found one for themselves.
One of the best ones,
One of the
probably.
best, pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe had to break the bank a little bit, but
He's expensive for sure. Like he won what 3 majors with VG?
didn't they want him
They wanted him initially, but they couldn't pay him.
Yeah, exactly. Initially they wanted him, but he was a little bit too pricey.
So maybe, FY, instead of getting 100K, he's like, okay, I'll be fine with 50.
Because there are a lot of teams in this region that would probably like to get their hands on ROTK.
Yeah.
As we take a look at the standings here in both divisions, EHOME already have 1 victory under their belt, and RNG have split series, but they were a lower division promotion, so already exceeding expectations. Meanwhile, in the lower division, Phoenix and former upper division team, Team Magma, have
Magma's
gotten
back.
2 on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we actually have Elephant playing against the leaders, like
Wow. Top of the bracket.
top of the bracket.
EHOME,
Insane.
jeez. This is going to be an uphill battle for them. But, you know, they're already 3rd place. They're tied for 3rd place with 5 other teams. Or 5 other teams. It's all good.
5 other top dogs, yeah.
Yep. Elephant, they need to start strong. They, as a superstar team, so many
Disappointments.
so many disappointments, so many expectations from them in the season 1, and they just did not deliver. We need them to step it up. To be honest, the rest of the pack did exactly that. PSG, LGD, IG, Vici Gaming, they showed extremely strong showing on the major. However, pretty much everyone expected Elephant to be there, but yeah, fell short.
Yeah, I would say Aster showing up instead of Elephant was probably the biggest upset.
Aster was dominating even.
Yeah.
Aster were top of the bracket for the majority of season 1.
Yeah. I think the loss of Bobaka is really big, though. Like he was like always the most important player of the team. So it's hard to judge Aster based on that. You know, we'll have to see how they do in this season now. If they really fell off, maybe they got figured out. Whatever happened, you know, we don't know. But they'll definitely have to prove it again this time.
And as for other roster swaps, EHOME, as we saw in season 1, originally had Ajit, and now they have Sylar. We saw one series from them, Lizard. Were your expectations matched for Sylar, or not yet?
Not necessarily for Sylar, but for the whole team, expectations are still not matched for me. I expected a little bit cleaner execution or cleaner draft in that first series that they had versus RNG. However, after they fixed the draft in the last 2 games, it definitely did look very well. But the first game troubles me, because if they have a similar draft versus Elephant, they will have no chance.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest difference is from season 1. X-Nova is playing with much more confidence. He's playing much more comfortably. Like he pretty much won one of the games by himself. Like of course the team still did what they were supposed to do, but his positioning on that Bane was just absolutely top notch. That's exactly the same reason why he was in the TI final before, you know? Like, that guy is super good, and now he finally feels very comfortable again to be that stepping stone of that team.
And we've talked about either these various teams having the game winners, but on a team of superstars like Elephant, Lizard, who exactly do you generally look to be like, okay, this is the player that I need to make sure he has a good game? Because there's so many players that I see have the capability of single-handedly carrying it. But
that's the problem. Every single one of them wants to carry the game, and that's where they fell short in the first division. We see Yang doing his own thing from the offlane and just trying to carry the game. It's like they're all fighting for the spotlight. You even see with the itemization, very rarely do you see these utility, team fight-oriented items that will help someone out. No.
Always damage.
Always damage.
Farmability.
Farmability and damage, and I'm carrying the game. Eurus and Somnus, like, that pair is really what we're looking at. FY and Red Panda, in the first season, they did well. Red Panda, we didn't really expect a lot from him. He delivered. FY, in every single game that they played, delivered as well.
The biggest question mark was Somnus for me.
Exactly.
Like his item builds on a lot of his heroes. Like, I think he went like Invoker, what was it, Witchblade, Boots of Travel, into like Yule Scepter or something like that. Yeah, it was like, what's happening, dude? Like, you can't build all these items and expect to win. It's like a pub build.
That was versus IG, right? Or
yeah, something like that. It was just like, you can't do this in this kind of caliber, you know? Like, you are a very good player, we all know that, but gotta, you know, have some respect.
Yeah. They, I don't think they're lacking respect as much as they lacked synergy together.
Synergy?
Respect not towards the enemy, but respect towards each other. You know, in a way that you understand who's the true win condition, and you let him have that farm. You let him do that while you're actually building a vessel, perhaps something that's going to be able.
Just vessel BKB, just be able to fight. You know,
exactly.
Let the other guy farm. The guy that needs to farm should farm. Not everybody should farm.
Yeah, not everyone can have a good game. Someone has to suffer. And that's why I thought that it would end up being Red Panda, because Red Panda probably the least competitively, the player with the lowest competitive history out of all these players on Elephant.
Almost none.
Almost none. And so you were saying that he was matching expectations for you in Season 1.
He's a position 5, surrounded by 4 superstars.
Yeah.
How much can you expect from him? Maybe that's the issue as well.
I mean, he was always very low on farm, as you would expect with a greedy lineup like that.
True.
But like with the farm he was given, he was always doing quite well. Like he was in good positions. He used the spells well. I feel like he did what he could, you know, given the cards
The
that he was dealt.
circumstances.
Yeah.
This is a team that when the patch hit in the first season, they went for Puck, OD, all the broken heroes, literally.
Shaker.
And they literally won that game, but that's because every single one of them played a broken hero that's able to carry, and they all kind of did, you know.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get broken heroes on every single position every single time.
Yeah, and then the next week they were figured out. The draft wasn't as good.
Patch
and,
was figured out.
Yeah, kind of started to crumble a little bit from there.
So then, on any of your Vici stints, did you ever spend time with ROTK, Black?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like he was always like a good friend of the team. He was around the team house a lot. He was even a stand-in for us a couple of times. So that guy is full of energy and full of brains. Like he might not be the most mechanically skilled guy, you know, but he is super smart about the game. Like he knows exactly what timings you need to hit, what draft goes well together, synergy. He's just really good,
It's
really
just
smart.
experience as well, right?
Yeah.
He's been around forever, so...
Since the beginning, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, because what surprises me is I spoke to Nothing to Say from LGD during the major, and I, as an outsider, have this interpretation of Zhao 8 as being like very stern and dominant in like from a coaching perspective, and he was like, no, Zhao 8's actually like pretty, like he'll talk to us, he'll sit us down and have a conversation. He's not just like,
Yeah,
sure, the
that's-
director.
That's
Yeah.
what you have to say.
That's what I thought as well, but he seemed pretty, he seemed
Honest, yeah.
authentic.
No, I
And
know
so
him as
that's-
well. Like Zhao 8, he looks very fierce to the outsiders because like, of his facial expressions and
Yeah.
everything, you know, but he's actually a really chill guy. Like he's a nice guy.
So that's the same thing with
What-
ROTK.
what
I
do
see
you-
ROTK screaming at people all the time.
Exactly.
He's very friendly and he is he's a good guy to be around with.
Okay.
Wait, I strictly remember Vici Gaming playing, or was it the PSG? I think it was Vici Gaming playing the minor, and I remember the coach screaming at them. Like,
He gets very emotional. I can say that for sure. Yeah.
like you could hear him from the studio to the room where the players were. You could hear
Trust
him.
me, I played with him. Like, if you sit next to him, like, even though you have a headset on, it feels like you have nothing on at all. Like his vocal cords are like one of the strongest I've ever seen. Like, if he screams, you're done.
And EHOME's coach, QQQ, I was kind of skeptical about some of their drafts in their previous series that we saw.
Like the first draft definitely was something that did not work out for EHOME. However, QQQ, the moment he joined the team, he definitely did
Was a
make
big
them-
upgrade.
Yeah, it's a big upgrade when it comes to the drafts. Their drafts were way harder to read from the get-go. The openers were very ambiguous, but he will always find a way to connect all the dots together with that fifth pick, and then you're like, ah, that's what he
Yeah.
was doing. He baits you into thinking that some hero like a Weaver is core, then switches him off to 4 or off lane and plays some IO carry, which at the time wasn't nearly as popular as it is right now.
Yeah.
As we take a look at the hero pools, you guys been watching other regions? If there are any new viewers tuning in to Chinese Dota here on the weekend, what kind of expectations would you set that like, oh, this is something that's popular in China that may not be so popular in other regions, or the other way around, something that we're not really seeing over here that's popping off in other regions?
I think everyone is still kind of sort of like trying to figure out the patch.
Yep.
Like we have seen something I was always thinking is really strong, like a Sanking middle yesterday
Yep.
from Nigma. It worked out perfectly, especially in this patch. And I think we're gonna see a lot more quote unquote like greedy mid heroes because you can get away with it. You know, we spoke about the bottle meta. You will always have full mana, full health. These greedy heroes, you can easily get a blink dagger, high level, and make all the plays happen.
You saw some bounty hunter perhaps in Europe a couple of times, even in upper and lower division.
Yeah.
That's something that you don't see in the Chinese region, but here AA is still a very top pick. Maybe not between these two teams, but we might see it even. Buffed up, pretty solid position 5. We've seen Bane under the right circumstances now that the Lifestealer is back in the meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some heroes that are different here, but overall everyone is still figuring out the new patch. It's not set in stone. They don't have necessarily their own meta that they're sticking with.
Is Beastmaster and IO still guaranteed first phase bans no matter what?
I think Beast for sure. IO
Beast,
probably.
I mean, we saw Beast yesterday in the SEA region. There was one fight, I think it lasted 20 seconds, and he dealt like close to 6,000 damage.
Yep, and then
it's kind of ridiculous.
And then the other game that we saw, he had to not level up axes because he was against a Rubik, a core Rubik, and then he still won the game.
I played versus Beast, and I tried to pick up that Rubik, and the guy banned it, and I'm like, okay, this is some next level try hard. Picks Beast, bans Rubik, so you don't get countered.
Yeah, of course, it happens every time, man.
And there you go, Beast that we talked about banned out, as well as Ancient Apparition that we mentioned earlier. Phoenix still popular. Phoenix Smart still a very popular combination.
I mean, Phoenix didn't really get nerfed. Like, just like a
the
little
Shard
bit.
is a buff even.
Shard is a buff. Yeah. I mean, the damage on the Sunray is a little bit lower.
It doesn't
but
matter.
Still
the
very
fact,
strong.
The fact that you can buy the Shard and have Sunray minute 20, which is something that you usually had to wait for your talent.
Sunray out of Supernova, and it slows as well.
Yeah. Grimstroke first pick, as expected, one of the strongest heroes in the patch. But the win rate in Europe is actually not that high. Like, he lost quite a bit of games.
We keep crunching these numbers. Upper Division, Grimstroke has like a 37% win rate, despite being hotly contested in every single first phase, pick phase, and ban phase.
Yep, it's also because he stops you from picking some heroes like Pangolier. He's valuable. I think the 37% doesn't really tell the full true story.
Yeah, because if I expand it to lower division also and count both divisions from all regions, it's like a 54% win rate.
I think the hero is overall. So wait, that means that lower division.
Lower division's crushing it with Grimstroke.
Exactly. One hero that has been banned out as well, Centaur. This hero is on a rise. This should be one of the mostly contested offlaners. I
mean, he got buffs all around. Right? Like, all his spells got better. Items, exactly.
We've seen the RNG series. We've seen the Centaur Visage offlane.
I mean, it's just silly. Like, he gets literally 80 health, and every second level he gets 100 health.
Just like that.
Just like that, yeah. One level up. Oh, okay. Suddenly.
If you really want to go ham, you can level up some stats as well here and there. You know, just
actually Rubik
have 3k HP.
Yeah, first phase Rubik.
Now, Rubik is a hero I don't value very highly. I think he has got quite a bit of weaknesses. And I mean, at least he can steal spin, I guess. I mean, the lane itself was not weak.
Anything that you steal from Grimstroke is amazing. Like,
yeah,
sure. It's Stroke of Fate, when you steal it on Rubik, it's
instant cast. Oh, it feels so good.
It's so much damage. Inkswell as well is so good. Overall, you're taking it away from FY. Like
do you like the hero though? I feel like it always does okay, wow, okay, he does this, and it does nothing.
I'm not saying that he's that broken or whatever, but in a game in which you can steal a couple of spells, it does look.
So you think he's still good, a good hero?
I don't think he's first phase good.
Yeah, I feel like Rubik comes out when there are no broken fours. You know, when there is nothing broken on position 4, you can pick Rubik. And then if you're good enough on the hero, you'll make it work.
Right, so
but why not pick a Tusk or an Earth Spirit? Your lane is with a Mars.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that those two are... I wouldn't even say they lane better with Mars. I'd say that Rubik actually lanes better.
And Mars Rubik is a very strong lane. Always has been historically. It's definitely a good like pressure lane. A lot of nuke power. Good Harris. But I'm just always very skeptical. Like, Rubik early game, yeah, I like him a lot, but come mid-late game, he just always feels so lackluster. Like
you have
2 second stun or whatever
as well. Like you have instant lift.
Sure.
It's not about the amount of time that you're stunned. It's about the fact that you can catch targets and then follow up with.
But RTK is like
not amused.
All according to Keikaku.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wind Ranger and Morphling banned out by EHOME. And after that, we see Eraser, Death Prophet, and Monkey.
Although they already have a Juggernaut, interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that they would go for the Morphling, maybe.
We've seen Morph mid very often.
Yeah, but usually we see that these Jugs go for Battle Fury, and Morph plus Jug seems very greedy.
Yeah, even with the Ags build or whatever, Yule's Ags or Morph, it's still greedy.
Just like no pressure on the map, no gank ability.
I guess because AA is banned out too, so they're like... let's secure ourselves.
QQQ is sweating there. He's like, RTK versus me. Oh,
gonna have to bring out my A game.
I mean, they're both the old guard, right? There's a lot of respect there.
I mean, QQQ was coaching me for 6 months in VG. Like, he was like my main coach.
Okay.
He made me such a better player. It's
really
actually insane. Like, I went there as kind of like a scrub, and after 6 months with him, I actually became a very, very good carry player. Like, because he taught me everything about the map, the mindset that has to change. Guy is a legend. And he's quite old too. He's almost 40.
Oh my God! Wow.
Or what? Right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's one of the oldest, if not the oldest, like quote unquote
active
like pro,
professionals.
Active professional, yeah. Lion into Abaddon, okay? Instant pick, Leshrac. One of my personal favorites in this bottle meta. I think he's an amazing hero. Another instant
Look at
pick.
these, look at these instant
Storm,
picks.
okay.
Damn,
Yo,
man.
this is just flowchart at this point.
Spray.
I mean,
Okay.
making the job hard for us.
Yeah, very, very hard. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, which hero? You said Leshrac. Okay, so you're hot on Leshrac because of the bottle meta.
Yeah, and it goes very well with Mars, because your ult is now pretty much the ult of the arena as well, because
Okay.
they just buffed the radius of the Lesh ult.
Yeah.
But I like the response of Storm. Like, Storm is pretty much absolutely free here.
Yeah, you do have Abaddon with Lash as well. You have that save potential, which is always nice to have with these heroes that like the front line. And also, they picked Lion into that Abaddon, so you have ways of dealing with all of his spells pretty much. Aphotic Shield is great versus Lion.
So here's a little problem for Elephant. Like, right now, they're lacking quite a bit of damage, I think. If this Lash gets up to Bloodstone, Eternal Shroud, with an Abaddon behind him, I feel like this game is pretty much unkillable. Like, they need to get up to an early advantage and really pressure them.
Don't you have damage? Like, you have Finger, you have Omni Slash.
Sure.
Storm,
But once you have
Jump
this like Shroud, Bloodstone, like it's actually insane how much you heal. Like every pulse and overtick is like 200.
Elephant as well. They need their offlaner. They need some sturdy
What do they?
frontliner. You see the Pango banned out by EHOME.
Centaur is already banned as well. A lot
Underlord.
of offlane is banned.
Underlord is an option.
That's decent.
It's really bad versus Rubik though.
Yeah, all the spells are so good on Rubik.
But
What else do we have? What's like a Yang special? Beastmaster is banned already too, right? Yeah, of course.
first,
What else does he like to play? Centaur is banned. Timbersaw
it's an option.
doesn't look
I
that
don't
great
s-
though.
Yeah, I feel like you need a stun as well. The Impale is nice, but maybe a Sand King with Grimstroke wouldn't be that
Tanking could work.
terrible.
Yeah.
But again, versus Rubik, it's
How about Darkseer?
it's good with Jug, but you don't have this. Usually you want a position 4 that benefits from the Iron Shell. You don't have that here. Like a Nyx, Earth Spirit, Pango, Tusk.
Also, one thing I was curious about, Black, you mentioned that a lot of the jugs that we're seeing these days build Battle Fury. They go
Legion
for Legion Commander. We saw yesterday, or I guess like a few hours ago, ILTW's Juggernaut skip the Battle Fury and go for Saint Yasha for early combat.
Right.
You think that this is the kind of game, because you were saying that they need to, converge early, otherwise they're going to struggle to jump the back lines. You think that this is that type of game for Elephant? Or is it going to depend on the last
Even if
pick?
it was, I don't think Elephant, like Euros is not the kind of player that would want to go away from it. Like Euros is probably one of the most greedy carry players in China, if not the greediest. So I think the action part is going to be up to the other 4 players.
Okay.
They'll be like, okay, you do the late game, bro.
And they do have ways of making action, right? Like Storm Spirits can be very aggressive early
They have a
on.
lot of good ways to utilize the Grimstroke right now. Double duel, double
duel,
hex,
double-
double impale, double omni slash. No, it doesn't work, unfortunately.
You have double finger though.
You have double finger, yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, imagine if Juggernaut just split into 2 and omni slash both.
Imagine if Spirit Breaker splits in 2 cows, charges too.
both.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys mentioned Underlord may not be a great idea because Rubik is on the enemy team. Now Rubik can still press the attack. And so between Abaddon, Aphotic Shield, and stealing press the attack,
With
2
that shard,
hard
yeah.
dispels. Yeah, and also, if
You get the
Rubik gets a
magic
shard,
The shard is
spell
so
immunity.
good. Yeah, the spell immunity is actually
So
so
you can go for like a pretty greedy carry here now.
They potentially have a lot of like this Lesha can really just take over the game if he gets to go to early
Okay,
game.
what do you pick here versus
Like, they need a
Jack?
carry.
Some PA?
Troll is
Nah,
PA is not that good. Troll is banned.
Not an illusion carry against overwhelming odds from Legion either.
Just something that can somewhat self-sustain. Or a TA and put it
man.
Lash
Okay,
safe
so
lane.
South America had a it's safe lane.
Safe lane
Lash
Lash.
Rush, never mind.
Safe and Lash. They had Safe Lane TA, right?
They had safe lane TA.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I liked it. It kind of goes in line with what I was saying before, where you get like this super high farm priority. You get up to those core items, and you're virtually unkillable unless you don't have your ult on, which is your own fault.
And you're very early oriented, right? Like this mid game is where EHOME shines. Later on, they do fall off.
Late game is going to be hard. Like if they get late game, it's going to be incredibly difficult.
Yep.
It's hard, man. I'm going to go for my boy RTK.
Okay.
I'm going to go Elephant.
Yeah, it's hard to go against Elephant that are reinforced by ROTK right now, and they'll reach the late game.
I think that nihilism. I think we're not really seeing Leshrax get
The
safe lane
Ag Scepter?
priority. We're not really seeing them get the Ag Scepter, and I think that's immensely strong versus a Juggernaut. So I'm leaning EHOME for this one. but we also haven't seen that much Templar Assassin these days.
Yeah. Tough to predict, especially, I don't know what to think about Elephant at all.
Yeah.
First season, they were like super flop, but now maybe they have this power level of Goku.
Yeah, and in the first season, they did look like a stronger team when it comes to facing EHOME, right?
They didn't even crush EHOME, I believe.
Okay, Lacoste, B-Cup, what do you guys think? Any reads on these heroes?
I like what ROTK and the boys cooked in the draft. I like the synergy, the possibility of the double duel, double finger, double hacks. Everything's double. If it's if it's good, just make it double. It's 2 times better.
Prepare for trouble, my friend.
Yeah,
B-Cup,
yeah.
What about you?
I don't know if this is right. I swear I remember this, which is probably I should have checked it double time. But
Say it with confidence. We'll believe you.
didn't EHOME beat Elephant in I-League?
No, don't look at
No,
me.
they totally beat him in I-League.
Yeah, I'm going
Yeah,
EHOME.
they did.
I'm good. Right?
I believe they did, actually.
Yeah, they beat him 2-0. I remember looking at that because it was one of the first series that ROTK was coaching for them, and then they lost, and everybody was like, "This is going to be the revamp for them." And EHOME, they did really well.
All right, well, they ripped off the Band-Aid now, so I guess maybe the inaugural game might not have been too strong for ROTK, but this is the DPC League now, my friend, and I want to hear you two cast it. Enjoy game number 1.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. Coming into game number 1, EHOME Elephant should be a fun one. Maybe a little bit of a rematch coming in.
It should be a fun one. Elephant was not really doing great. I don't think anyone was impressed during the season 1. Now with the addition of ROTK, I can already feel the presence, a bit of a different drafts. I like what I see. This Storm should have a really good time. Like, he is not worried about the Templar Assassin. He can pretty much dodge all of the spells. The only instant initiation they have is Rubik's Lift. Healing Ward, a lot of sustain, press the attack. So I would expect Storm Spirit to go more greedy route, like not necessarily to go for like straight up BKB. We've seen different builds. All right, stun on the top, fake hype, nothing happens. We'll just continue talking. So yeah, we've seen some different builds on the Storm Spirit. They're still holding the high ground.
Seems like they still want to go. They got an Observer Ward. All right, FY. Getting some gold.
Some XP as well.
2 CS already. And there's the exchange in tips from the supports. How do you feel about this move here now that these fights happen in the river right by mid? I feel like in my pubs it's 5-on-5 every single
there's
time.
always one guy, that is on the opposite side. I'll just go alone while you guys pick up, you go as 4, you kill 1, you pick up the bounties while I pick this one alone. No, it does not work. You're probably going to die if you're alone. A bit of a pause. Coming down from Fades Rubik.
Yeah, he's got a mic problem.
Problem, yeah.
See if that goes away soon. I love that set, this Rubik set that he's got. It's not the FY Bleak Hallucination.
It's a
set, but
good
it's a
looking
nice
set,
one.
expensive one for sure. The only thing I'm worried about, I'm not worried about cosmetics. I'm just a bit worried about the Rubik in this meta. Even in the previous patch, the hero just felt very wonky, I would say. Like, I did not just feel the hero, what his purpose is, like what's he supposed to do in a game, unless you're playing against some like Enigmas. If you don't have anything, like, there's so many good spells to steal. I just was not convinced by the Rubik. I also like stopped playing it because I don't feel it's that good right now.
Yeah, I said it to you in the green room. It's for the first time in a long time that, Rubik has been not so prevalent in the meta. It feels like that hero was picked up a lot, all the time for years. And for the first time, it just feels like it's like, oh, they picked Rubik. Like, it doesn't even bear the same, like, they picked Rubik.
No, it's not one of those, oh man, Rubik, like, they need to be careful. It's just, I'm just not feeling it. I could potentially be wrong here. I'm always ready to learn new stuff. That's just the feeling that I got throughout the last DPC season, all regions, throughout the major. Just didn't feel great.
So we'll see how it goes with this Rubik. It was a hero I was spamming for a long time, too. It's just one of those heroes that I felt really comfortable with at, the trash tier MMR. It's,
Yeah, we're not going to take that into consideration, but
not here.
They have a lot of damage. Grimstroke, one of the even though his win rate is not that high, like his shard is super good. He has a toolkit of stun, silence, leash mechanic, whatever you need, this hero can provide you with. He's the anti-carry against the certain heroes. Maybe not in this game, like if you decide to go for Aghanim Scepter, you don't have that clear target. It's not Phantom Lancer, it's not Spectre. TA is okay-ish, nothing, you know, not great, not terrible.
Really like XM on this TA. Especially, I've fallen in love with the TA shard.
Oh, shard is so good. Like, it's a 3.5 seconds
Max
silence,
stun.
AoE,
Silence.
silence. Yeah.
The silence is just, it feels so good because you can drop it down and pop it quick. And even just that split-second silence feels good if you're, you know, chasing someone who's trying to get out.
It also increases the count of traps by 4, which is nice. You can have more. You always have that, you know, vision inside the pit. Careers don't provide vision inside the pit anymore, so, like, traps kind of got indirect buff as well on top of it.
Yeah, maybe not the biggest buff, but certainly now you have that advantage potentially going after Roche, especially with a hero like TA that can do it early if you get a Desolator. You know, Solar Crest has been a popular item. You could see that build here with a TA. All of a sudden, you go for Roche, and you can take it pretty early on, pretty quickly. I'm interested to see how EHOME are going to want to play around going after Roche and what they're going to do with this Leshrac. You know, that is in a safe lane role. Are they looking to pressure pretty quickly? Are they looking to push on hard? We'll see.
Interesting build by Sylar. Like 4 branches already turned this into Magic Wand. A lot of stats. Like this hero has 400 mana, 700 HP level 1 with this type of a build.
Quite a bit of...
Someone's going to say, you know, he does not have 400 mana. He's the 399.
It's close. It's not 400. I'm going to have to agree with those people. Which is probably chat. Just saying. Actually, it's 399.
Abba, like, they picked Lion into a pattern. I've seen, like, some teams thinking the other way around where, like, oh, there's a Lion. We're just going to use a Photic Shield on stun, on Hex. But there's much more to it. The reason why they picked it, because we've seen yesterday in some of the games where, like, you can burst Abba, like, you can finger him and he doesn't pop his ulti, and he's just straight up dead. Because, you know, the threshold is 400, you can just kill him with the finger.
Right. Although, we were seeing some smart plays from those Abaddons, too. Popping borrowed time at, like, to start the engagement, not hold it or anything like that. Which I wonder if we'll see Xnova do here, knowing that he's up against that burst damage. The thing about Lion, in my mind, is like, what changed that we saw a lot of Shadow Shamans, and it was mainly Shadow Shaman, and then it kind of mixed into the 50-50 we saw at the Major, which was Shadow Shaman and Lion, being those constant supports picked, and now it seems like it's just Lion. I know it's a small sample size for Season 2, but right now it feels like just Lion is the one of those two that's getting picked up.
I guess they're just prioritizing the burst damage. Like, Lion is also more tanky now with the addition of level 15 talent, 70 max HP per finger of Zet. And, like, his shard is also, it's good. You know, you can drain 3 targets, you become spell immune. There's so many things you can do with it. You can also combine, like, his shard with the level 20 talent. Mana drain restores allies. You give someone mana while you're being magic immune, so you can, like, dodge spells with it. A bit of a slow start to this game. We had a pause, 3 minutes in, 0 kills so far. Storm Spirit on the mid lane, like Somnus destroying XM. He's actually destroying him. 11 CS, 22 and 8 on Storm Spirit. I've seen this matchup, not gonna call it go both ways, but I've seen Templar Assassins doing better. I've also seen, like, Storm Spirit just playing super aggressive with the 1-1-1 build on level 3, potentially getting a kill. Like, you didn't expect that kind of a damage.
Swell with the Blade Fury and the Cirque of Fate. Red Panda getting first blood over Fade in the bottom lane on that Rubik. They finally grab first blood, and we see our first kill of the game. And going back to that, what you were mentioning over mid with XM and Somnus, you know, I say it every game. It's always this very big matchup of high-ranked players. Like, the mids in the Chinese region, I think a bunch of them...
A bunch of them are rank 1? Is that what you wanted to say?
3 or 4, I was going to say, were ranked, like, top 20.
Yeah, you need to be like super individually skilled if you want to play mid lane. This is how these players like get spotted. You just grind, and someone will eventually pick you up.
Yeah, you see that with guys like Nothing to Say, XM, certainly. You know, he's another one of those guys, White Album, who came from SAG, who was going as DD back when he was playing with that team.
Looks pretty dead.
Yeah, they've got the Hex, overwhelming odds, and the last shot coming in from Yang to get the kill onto X Nova. So we'll see yet another kill here for Elephant, and already a 1K lead. And I believe XM, he subbed when he played for LGD the first time. And then he went to EHOME and came all the way back. So, now, you know, he had that opportunity with LGD, then came to EHOME, or it was like the other way around, and he finally had that opportunity. And he was sitting, I think before that, even like rank 1 or rank 2 in the rankings for so long. And you know, it goes back to that battle that he had with XM, because they were the ones who were switching off 1 and 2, and like those guys are, for a lot of people, new to the scene.
Yeah, it's always, you know, that competition for top 10. You want to show that you're better than the rest. Mid lane, oh, what a combo. XM looks pretty damn dead.
Yeah, Ball Lightning right on top. Inkswell pops. They've got the Vortex, the Refraction, surviving, going after Somnus and gets the kill, turns it around and still survives. Red Panda might just drop too. He gets hit by that tower once. Whoa.
Oh, man, those refraction charges plus a magic stick, and I believe he also had a bottle charge, actually keeping him alive there. The good thing about Grimstroke in this game, like, you will have so many things to use the Inkswell on. You have like 3 heroes who like to go in. I like to build on Yang this time around. Soul Ring, Magic Wand just wants to tank up. Now going into Hood. I really like Hood here against the Leshrac, against the Mars. Like, he's going to be so tanky. You don't necessarily, you know, need to get so much damage early on the Legion Commander. It's a positive thing, but not necessarily like so much needed. They have enough burst damage. They have heroes that can rotate, so I would not be surprised, you know, if they get a couple of early good duels. A bit harder, you know, against Abba. 1 TP rotation could save people. How's Rubik doing? He's going Mana Boots first item. I don't mind that here. You know, on Rubik, I think it's decent after getting the Magic Stick. Mana Boots also got a buff, so now it costs 100 gold less, which makes it more viable.
Quicker to get, nicer to use. We'll see how it goes. If he goes like Arcane Boots into the Blink Dagger, wouldn't be surprised to see that little bit of a combination come through, which, you know, you're usually looking for that positioning. I'm trying to figure out, you know, what exactly Rubik wants to steal. There are a lot of things here that look pretty juicy on the table, like even getting Stroke of Fate or throwing an Inkswell back. They go after the Abaddon. They've got the duel up top, and they'll get a winner chicken dinner for Yang. He'll get his first victory of the game as he takes out X Nova.
That's a good start. You know, just seeing that number 10 before 10-minute mark, it's kind of satisfying feeling. So he's going to have that Hood like 8-9 minutes in.
Pretty fast.
Yeah, going to be really hard to take down. Legion Commander, you know, has a good stats gain, magic resistance on top of that, Soul Ring, which will give him mana sustain.
So Yang's sitting in a really good spot right now.
I started talking about the different item builds on the Storm Spirit, but you interrupted me. Thanks for that. Yeah, we've seen some like Kaya into BKBs yesterday in one of our games. Kaya got a huge buff, you know, 50% mana extra is just feels so good, you know. But I don't think he needs to get like BKB here as until maybe 3rd item. Like he's gonna be pretty safe, I would say, because they have Presty attack, they have a healing ward. Like rushing the Bloodstone, I wouldn't mind seeing it here.
That build, hold on, going after X Nova once again. They've got the Hex. Yang, he has duel ready to go, and he'll throw it. Can he get himself 2 for 2? The timing is not there. He won't get the dual damage, but they will get the kill. FY gets credit for that, and still sits at 10 dual damage.
Somnus farming a big juicy stack. That was like 5 stack in the jungle. He's getting all the neutral items from it.
Getting the kill on a Red Panda. Fade coming over, and with the help of XM, they can kill off this Grimstroke. I was wondering to ask you, because you were talking about the Kaya, now with Somnus going that way, we've seen a lot of Storms go like Orchid first, and you said you wouldn't be too upset seeing Bloodstone first.
Yeah, because
what's the difference in game there?
Like, this is the game. Oh, they're going once again. On Abba, he's having a rough one. Like, X-Nova, level 4 only, can get the levels. This time around, they don't have that many stuns, so if you're just tanky enough, it gives you an ability to be a bit more greedy, and you can like skip certain items. Arena on the bottom.
Yeah, Red Panda trying to survive, hit by the spear. Chalice gets the kill, but the Blade Fury right on top of him needs 2 more shots to get it. They've got the duel, the stolen Blade Fury isn't going to keep the Rubik alive long enough. Yes, it will, not to give the duel damage, but he'll end up dead regardless.
Smoke. I think that got spotted. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that got spotted. They are also underneath the ward. Even if the ward was not there, like they used it instantly. There is some like fade time where the vision from creeps, you know, disappear, and if you use it straight away, it can get spotted. This time around, Juggernaut not going for the Battle Fury build. Getting a bit more active type of a build, getting that Yasha. I still feel he needs like a farming item. I would not mind seeing the Maelstrom type of a build. Like he needs something to farm with.
Definitely. And do you think he's going for something like Yasha Maelstrom because he feels the need that he needs to be involved way earlier in this game?
Yeah, it feels like, because the EHOME's lineup is really good at just grouping up, taking the towers. You have this Leshrac with the Edict maxed out. You have Templar Assassin, so much minus armor. Abba is level 6, still saving a point.
They've got the smoke. They're going to move in on this. They might be able
Finger
to break
is
it.
available
On the Jug.
Let's see the combination. They have Soulbind. Let's see if they decide to go for it. Double Finger, Hex.
You can see Red Panda really wants to make something happen, and they're going to get the Hex off. It's stolen by this Rubik, and there's the Double Finger with the Electric Vortex coming out on both the Rubik as well as the Mars. They've got the damage coming in, but is it going to be enough? The duel is out on the Chalice. Do they have it for the victory? Yes, they do, but Somnus is dead. Fade, Chalice, they both fall. They've got the Earth Spike landing in. Yang now
Legion is so tanky.
Needs to start to run as XM starting to hit pretty hard. Runs back, goes forward once more with the help of Eurus. They've got the Blade Fury right on top of the TA. They'll drop down a Sentry just to make sure that this TA can't get away. Inkswell right on top of Yang. That's going to pop. It actually goes in between the Abaddon as well as the TA, but it's not going to matter. They get the kill on XM and look over at X-Nova with the Stroke of Fate landing onto the Abaddon, slowing him down for a moment, but he's far enough back where Yang can't kill him. The stun missing from Sylar, so no turnaround kill there for him.
Yeah, this is why I said, you know, I like this build on Yang. He can go in, reset multiple times. Press the attack is level 3 on top of that. I also believe in the previous fight, he got the double duel off. He got both of the kills. He's sitting right now at 30 damage. So that's pretty big. And he also found the perfect item. Like, this item was really not usable. The neutral item chipped west. This time around, like, this item's really good. You know, having 5 HP regen, you return 30 damage to heroes. Just works well with, like, Axe. Even though Axe is not a popular hero, but we see it just for extra regen, because it got buffed from 3.5 to 5 per second, and it's a pretty big thing. Now sitting at 30 damage, like, you should be careful about this Legion Commander. He's also getting closer to the Blink Dagger. No finger kills, though. FY did not get a stack. This is infinite scaling lineup, you know. All they're missing is Pudge, maybe a Silencer.
I played Silencer yesterday. I had like 64 stolen intelligence. It feels good to have
You
the
did
infinite
good.
stack.
You did good, my friend.
The Blink Dagger first for TA. For me, I'm more someone who likes to see the Deso first. But do you think the Blink Dagger is the right item so far in this game, or should he have gone Deso first, you think?
It allows you to reposition yourself, get out of the trouble, jump between the camps. Like, there's always an argument. Yeah, Deso gives you more damage, but since you have so much damage anyway, you know, you can jump between the camps, farm faster, and Meld got buffed, so like the damage coming up from Meld, I think you can actually feel the difference. Meld got buffed 2 times in a row, and going back into Deso, like, you can't... I think it's much easier to kill the Roche with the Deso, but still, like, the farming potential, like, you can see that the Templar Assassin is staying near the top.
They might find Somnus. They have the telekinesis. They lift him up. They land the secondary stun. That comes in from Sylar, but surviving thanks to the Legion.
Okay, this is interesting. Somnus Look what he has queued up. Kaya and Sanj. Ooh. Bit of a status resistance, you know, coming out from that item. This is definitely going to be the first one that I've seen. After reading the patch notes, seeing that Kaya got 20% increased on mana regen. It could potentially be, you know, it's a 25 status resistance. You become a bit more tanky. I'd prefer Bloodstone, though, because they don't have that many stuns. Maybe he's thinking, if I go in, I get speared, live from Rubik. Maybe I need it. Stun from Leshrac. It will allow me to just get out. Interesting thinking for sure.
Fly sitting level 8, still no stacks. He's going Blink Dagger, pretty close to it too. Meanwhile, Fade going Aether Lens, so wants that extra cast range, a little bit different from these 2-4 positions and what they're building. Extra Sideblades range coming in for the Templar, who gets that level 10 talent and is 1,200 gold away from the Deso, so still farming really well for XM.
The timing that EHOME is looking for, Blink Dagger on Mars, Templar Assassin with the Desolator, Smoke, try to get 1-2 kills, transition that into Roche Pit. There's a great synergy between Edict and the Deso on the towers, on Roche, heroes, you name it. And there's going to be like another big item coming out from Leshrac, Yule Scepter, so he has way to set things up, or just buy a bit more time, potentially duel Yule Scepter, the Legion Commander during the duel.
And we'll see if they could stop the damage from building up on this Legion Commander already at 30. Like you said, the double duel coming out the last time that got that extra damage. X-Nova chase, Inkzwell on to Somnus, sticking with X-Nova, who pops the borrowed time. He's got the Phantom's Embrace, which will keep the silence on him. Earth Spike and a kill there for Somnus. A lot of heroes coming in from Elephant to make it happen, that they can get that kill onto the Abaddon. And of course, that's leaving space open for Sylar as well as XM to continue to go towards their next item.
So Kaya Sanj completed, 16 minutes in on Storm Spirit. Spell amplification, you know, you get the mana regen amplification, status resistance.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Looking towards mid, they've got the Arena. Spear lands onto the Legion Commander. A couple of these heroes
good
really
healing
bouncing off
ward.
the sides. They'll use the Stolen Blade Fury coming out from Fade. Somnus in pretty far back. They finally get the duel onto the Rubik. But is going to be enough damage to get the victory. It will be. Fade ends up dead. They've got the Vortex as well as the Finger. That hits on a Sylar. They'll get themselves a second. Taking out the Leshrac. Hooking over at Chalice as they'll chase this Mars, who's saved so far by X-Nova. The Spear pushes the heroes back from Elephant, but they're going to jump forward. Yang goes in and gets the kill on X-Nova, making it a third. They've got the 2K lead. They take a good fight, and they will look to finish off the Tier 1 tower mid. Elephant didn't look amazing to start, but they really cleaned it up and take out 3.
Yeah, it was a, you know, good initiation by Mars, but I said it like straight away. Good healing ward. They could not kill it.
Somnus, Inkswell on him, and he gets away from this.
He's out. Yeah, on top of that, healing ward, also Legion Commander decided to go for Pipe instead of the Blink Dagger, upgrade that hood. Actually really like that. You know, against the Mars, against the Leshrac, you want to tank up. We're going to see that fight once again. Good arena, but you see the healing ward. Like, healing ward is just doing so much. They have so many good targets that they can throw. The Inkswell on top of that duel. This is why Rubik just doesn't feel that great in this patch. Very easy to burst. Like, he needs to stay close. I guess that's stay further away from the fight. I guess that's why he's deciding to go for the Aether Lens. I think the best ability that he can steal is probably the press the attack and then possibly like get a Earth Spike or Hex.
Right.
Just to keep, you know, have double way of dispelling things with Abba and press the attack. They also need someone to jump and kill that healing ward.
Yeah, I was, you know, when the patch came out, surprised Jug didn't get hit with harder nerfs. Still feels strong. That healing word, of course, feeling pretty strong. And then when he picks up that shard eventually, like, the hero just seems like it's one of the top in the carry role at the moment. That's for sure. And if you can't get on top of that healing ward, it's at level 4 right now. It makes this fight so much harder for EHOME.
Yeah, if you don't have anyone with the range to kill, it can just straight up win you a team fight. Elephant, they use the scan inside the pit to see if they're doing Roche, because they know, like, Templar Assassin, she has Deso right now, she's showing on the mid lane. EHOME, I'd say they're in a very bad spot. You know, they're 3K down. They need to make something happen because their lineup is just not as good as Elephant's. If we're talking about like late game, super late game.
What should their game plan be right now? Get the next item that they're looking for, or is it like we need to fight now? Maybe take a fight and go for Roche.
There are no big items that's gonna come out in the next few minutes, but they need to fight. Like they need to be able to take a fight. Leshrac going for Kaya, Templar Assassin still far away from BKB. Same goes for Mars, so they're not gonna become any stronger in the next few minutes. So either they like completely dodge the fights for the next like 3-4 minutes until BKBs are online, or just take a fight like right now.
Chalice, he's been caught. Hex from FY, they've got the Inkswell. That's going to pop and stun him. They do have X-Nova coming over to try and get the save, but he walks into danger now because the finger bursted Chalice. They have the Vortex. That will pull back X-Nova, who pops the borrowed time.
Buyback from Chalice.
And they will buy back on Chalice. They've got the duel out on the Fade, and they will get another victory. Omni-Slash bouncing on XM all by himself, so Eurus with the double kill. They bought back on Chalice, and, well, they're starting to converge on his position. He needs to be very careful. He gets into the trees. Yang searching, looking for a Mars, and he just blinks away.
So Chalice bought back. That kind of says, you know, his game is done. He was having a rough time already. And after finishing the tier 2 tower on top, they could go inside the pit, take the Roshan, steal it from Templar Assassin. Whenever you steal it from, like, Templar Assassin, Ursa type of a lineup, like, you cripple them so much. Solar Crest done on Legion Commander. I mean, Yang is just having a perfect game.
He really is. And it's actually something I talked about with Chalice the other day when we were covering EHOME, is it feels like Yang's kind of taken on a different role with Elephant. It used to be, it's the dead Yang strat. You know, he'd be playing sacrificial. As long as Yang's dead, that means everybody else is having a great game. But you know, he's found a solid spot in this offlane with Elephant, and he's been very impactful as a playmaker, more so than just being the sacrifice hero in terms of where he was with
yeah, in this game, he's been very active, involved in 13 out of 17 kills. Itemization, like, it doesn't get better than this. 70 dual damage already. Pipe done, Solar Crest done.
Solar Crest.
Going into Heaven's Halberd as well. Just to completely cripple the Templar Assassin.
We already saw how quickly they could take out XM. Obviously, that included an Omni Slash, but you make it difficult for XM to do anything by getting that disarm off, and I think this game already feels really tough for the TA. They're near Roche. I don't know if they're going to be able to contest this, though.
Storm Spirit has BKB queued up, but if they take Roche, he might change his mind and go for a different item, since, like, he is the one that should pick up the Aegis. He's the best Aegis carrier in the game.
Aegis picked up by Somnus. Extends that lead into a 6K. Net worth lead and 4,300 gold save for Storm. We'll see what he goes for now that he's got this Aegis. If that does switch off the BKB. No?
Just wants to play the safe game, okay.
It's fair enough.
I wouldn't mind seeing like Shivas, maybe even Ags straight away to be able to pull multiple people. Because you can't go greedy. You have that Aegis. Maybe this is the timing that they're looking for. We go in, possibly try to end the game, because they could. Like, EHOME is in a really bad spot. I think they understand that if they lose another fight, it could just potentially be the end.
X-Nova looking like the one who's going to be taken out on this. They've got the Vortex. Inkswell doesn't hit, but the borrowed time is there. They've got the BKB on the TA, so we'll see if EHOME are willing to fight. They're sticking nearby, maybe thinking about going after a counterplay of some sort, because it is taking a lot of time to kill off X-Nova. They don't, in fact, initiate just yet, as Somnus Ball Lightning's over through mid, and now they might look for their opening. Chalice has Blink ready to go, and they'll go in with the Arena. He's going to blink forward with BKB being popped by Somnus. Goes after X-Nova. They'll throw the Soulbind out. They'll look over at XM where the duel comes in with BKB being popped by the TA. Will the TA die in time to get the duel damage? It looks like it's just after, but they still take out XM. They get X-Nova. They'll finish off Sylar. A pause comes in from the side of EHOME to cut this one short just a bit.
It's like this game is just done. Even though it's a 7k gold lead, they cannot do anything. Like, they just don't have enough damage. You can see Mars going in, using the spear. He lands the spear on LC. it's just like not the target to go for. You can see LC doesn't care about the damage anymore coming out from the Templar Assassin. That Solar Crest making him so much more tankier. And they don't get the dual damage. They get the finger damage. But in the end of the day, it's all about the kills. You don't necessarily need to get that dual damage.
Just having that control. You already have 70. You feel fine at that point. Just get the kills, have the control. Bring what dual has. And you see that just... TA, yeah, like XM, you've had a fine game. You're still top of the net worth, but it's just not enough. EHOME just kind of, I think, maybe even played a little bit too timid at times.
They had their timing. You know, that one fight when the Deso plus Blink was up, Leshrac with the Yule Scepter, Kaya done, they lose that fight. This is their momentum. Like, they needed to get a kill, transition that into Roche. Rubik getting chased.
Gonna keep going. Blade Fury going after Chalice, now looking over at Fade. They've got the damage. Eurus gets a 4th for this fight. He's now unstoppable. Guys got to leave that high ground. There's still a tier 2 to get.
Because like Storm gets the second item, BKB. I think he kind of regrets it here, where you're still very limited on your mana. Chalice, I think they're just done.
Chalice getting
I
taken
think it's
out.
like this is just
kinda
one of
into
those
that.
where you handle it to them. He also bought back in the previous fight, so there's some extra seconds added to his death timer.
Oh dear. 10k lead, they'll go after the mid set of Rax. Try to figure it out, and you know, if EHOME have anything left to throw the way of Elephant, but it's not looking likely. What they are throwing is just not enough, and it hasn't felt like enough for a while.
No, it's just been pretty much the Elephant show so far, where they are the ones controlling the game. Yang, my MVP for this game, his itemization on point, the Solar Crest, the pipe, just keeping them tanky enough, so like completely ignoring the damage from Leshrac in the fights that they needed to have it. Storm Spirit still has Aegis, still has Regeneration Rune. Also Eurus, like you have these 2 cores. Storm died a couple of times, but 2 cores. Still, they did not manage to bring them down a single time. It's just a matter of time until, you know, EHOME tries to take one more fight, and that's it. I would not be surprised if they already called this game, to be honest.
It does feel that far gone, but one more shot is what they're going to give it at the moment. They've gone through that tier 1, they'll go through the tier 2, do it pretty quickly. And they are ripping through these buildings. They're ready to go on to the high ground once again to go for their second tier 3 and set of Rax. Xnova TPing back towards the base, so everybody will be here for the side of EHOME ready to go. Stun misses, and they've stolen the healing ward.
Okay, that's something.
decent.
That's a good spell.
Looks like that could be something that really benefits them in the next fight when it does come, but at the moment...
All right, Lion has a
Style
shard
engage.
queued up. He wants to be spell immune. Also draining 3 targets in a team fight. Like, could make the difference.
Does the spell immunity and everything on that shard make it feel pretty cheap? 1,400 gold, like spell immunity and your draining mana,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that
you know,
seems
having
pretty cheap.
having a BKB while you're draining. Eurus thinking about going in.
Let's see what they can do here. They're trying to cross over towards mid. They're going to ball lightning all the way to their backline. They've got themselves the vortex, but the telekinesis comes out on Asabnis. Chalice is going to blink in and use that arena. He's got the spear down, and he does lock someone up. They've got the double duel. They've got the double finger, but is it going to be enough to get these kills? They got the kill, and Asabnis is going to buy back immediately into the fight, but they've killed off Red Panda. They've stolen the Ink Swell. It's right on top of Fade, but Fade's not going to survive it, and here comes the mana drain onto everybody. You're not going to have anything to play with. They get the kill onto XM as well as Fade. They'll land the 2-man stun. It's down onto Chalice as well as Sour. Sour dead for the second time, and there's the Hex follow-up onto Chalice. That should mean he is gone, and the GG will be called. Elephant will take game number 1.
Yeah, they couldn't even take the Aegis on the Storm Spirit in the end. The double duel, it's not about, you know, getting the damage from the second duel. It's a benefit, but you just want to disable the second target. That's all about that is. This is the Elephant that I expected to see in the first season. Like, they're looking much better, you know, just the draft wise. They look crisp. Like FY also looks like really good. You know, the old FY.
Yeah, and maybe we'll see him on more of his comfortable heroes. It felt like last season they were trying to maybe do a little bit too much with FY in terms of what they were giving him, but here he looked really good. I think everything looked really good from the side of Elephant. There were things that just we were expecting from them last season that they showed in this game, and hopefully they can keep it up. So, we'll try and see what Elephant have as the season goes by. This is only game number 1, still a series, and it's still, against EHOME, who did beat them in I-League in that first series of that event. So can they turn it around?
This is why I talked, I think Black also mentioned it on the panel, where rubik just doesn't feel as strong.
No, not at all.
There is a reason why this hero is not picked, but, let's see what our panel members have to say about this one.
Yeah, back over to you guys.
That ROTK secret sauce paying off in game number 1 of Elephant versus EHOME. It's true. That's, you gotta take competitive history.
That's actually it. That's ROTK sauce. Let them win the I-League. We save our real stuff.
For the tournament that matters.
Yeah, we will win the D-League.
DPC League, my friend. It was a solid victory. Pretty much I'm curious to see who we're going to get as an MVP, because I have a strong case for nearly every single person on Elephant in this game number 1. It was a clinic.
Don't you just give it to the guy that gets duels, and then even when he doesn't?
What about the guy who lets him have 2 duels at the same time like that?
Okay, that
what about the itemization though?
The itemization,
that
pipe
first, that was legit.
Selfless.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
What happened? Like, what happened to them when RTK... Okay, RTK, I said he's a really nice guy, good to be around, but he is a voice of authority. Like, you built Blink Blade Mail this game, first 2, like, what are you doing, man? Why are you building that item? He's like, okay, sorry, dude. I'll build pipe first, man, sorry. And obviously that pipe,
That's it, isn't it? Like, you don't... like, if you let them loose, they'll buy these own items, individual, selfish. But when you know that someone is gonna slap you from behind,
you need that fear.
Dude, he's probably standing behind them every time. Oh, like you get these shivers down your back. He's breathing down your neck.
He's moving the mouse over the chainmail. You just hear a noise behind you. Instantly into the ring of health, into the pipe.
You just feel like the cold breath down your spine.
Dude, he's got the bullwhip neutral item IRL. He's just gonna start debuffing your ass if you start building it irresponsibly.
Enough with the positives. Let's trash talk EHOME a little bit.
Okay, yeah, TA, what about her item build?
I don't know what happened overall to EHOME. Not only TA. First, TA on the mid lane got dumpstered by Storm. Even though they did get that counter kill, it's still not nice when you see Storm with 40 and TA, let's say, with 20 CS. It's not something that you expect from your mid laner when you last picked that TA, right? Safe lane as well, X-Nova, who we have been praising so much.
He died 3 times in like 3 minutes.
It
was a rough
3
one.
minutes with Abaddon, like that's also not. You're not a Crystal Maiden. You're an Abaddon. Like you shouldn't be getting picked off like that.
In all fairness, though, like EHOME's only game so far was against RNG, who I probably wouldn't put on the same level as Elephant, like, at all. And yeah, so Elephant, they're still one of the most individually talented teams in this league, and it worked out perfectly for them. They all played, like they wanted to carry the game, wanted to be the star, and they all were.
This is what they needed. They needed that reality check in the first season, and in the second one, they became hungrier, right? Or at least hungry. Maybe that's what they were missing, because they weren't playing like superstars in that first season.
Let's calm down. It's one game. It's been one game.
However, guys, they are humble because they didn't change any players.
Humble God?
Sure.
Like they weren't like, oh, you're the problem, get out. They actually just tried to solve the biggest problems they had, which was drafting as well as gameplay.
I mean, all these players are so well known. How would you really have a leg to stand on if you're going to say you're the problem? Really, only Red Panda is the only one that you can be like, you're the problem, except he was playing good.
There's like 6-7 years ago, there was this trend that if the team isn't working, you just change the 5. That's it.
Yeah.
Because Papi, Kuro, they were really known, but PPD as well, obviously, but teams were still thinking, yeah, this is going to change everything. This is going to save us. We just blame it on the draft and on the position 5, and that's it. But
yeah, easy.
Yeah, later on, everyone understood that your whole team identity comes from the 4 and 5.
I think we call that playing the blame game, right?
I am familiar with this.
A lot of people are very good at playing the blame game, but not very good at playing Dota.
You know who is good at playing Dota? Yang. Give him the MVP.
Sure.
He was selfless. That's what we like to see. And also, he was getting
also buff.
bad kills, so it's all good. Yeah, he had 30 dual damage at like 10 minutes. And the pipe was definitely, I think, game-winning. Because there was that one fight in the mid lane where Rubik had stolen level 4 Blade Fury. Mars got a 3-man arena. And Yang just piped up. Got the healing ward on the outside. And they just tanked through all of it. So, fantastic performance.
Good itemization. Good. Just gameplay.
Yeah, just good execution overall from them. It wasn't only about items and whatnot. They were winning some team fights that usually when you see a team fight starting, you have a general good sense who's going to win it by either knowing who will initiate first, who has better vision, who has more resources in form of mana and HP. They were winning fights that they weren't supposed to win as well early on in the game. So
that bot fight was, in particular, I think the one they should have lost, but they just outplayed like super hard at getting double impales, double hexes, 2 finger stacks, 2 dual wins. What more do you want? It's like, make it look easy.
And I know you've oftentimes stressed the importance of brawler 4s very, very frequently. And Rubik first phase, I don't think that's going to be showing up again.
Okay, but look at the other side. You had Grim and Lion. Those aren't brawler 4s.
That's true.
I'm stressing brawler 4s when you don't have an offlaner that fits the role, right? Like if you.
But they had a Mars.
Exactly, they had it. They just got outplayed. That's it. Elephant played better.
Well, let's see if EHOME can change the dynamic in game number 2. We're going to hop over to a quick break, and we return more Elephant versus EHOME. Welcome back to game number 2 of Elephant versus EHOME. Elephant starting off their DPC Season 2 league strong. That's what we like to see.
They have done the same last season, though. Like game 1, they absolutely demolished the enemy team.
You remember game 1 of Season 1?
Yeah, I remember it as well.
Because Elephant crushed. Like, I expected them to crush. They did. We're like,
that's the game that I told you about with OD, Puck.
Oh, okay.
They had the Bloodseeker OD on offlane. I remember the game even. Like,
who did they play?
My brain. works in mysterious ways. I don't remember my
Photographic
lunch
memory.
yesterday, but I remember the game that.
Yeah.
Happened 2.5 months ago.
Yeah.
But it
Do
was
you
a
guys
very
actually-
important game for them.
You remember a lot of games from your career, right? Don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I remember even some pubs. Like I can remember what happened.
I
and
remember
which
nothing
one.
from school,
Yeah.
but Dota.
What do you remember more? Games that you won or games that you lost?
Or both, dude. It really depends. Like some are really just like branded your soul and your heart and your brain, dude. Like,
If
there's-
only I built this one
like,
thing.
like some losses are really heartbreaking, and
Yeah.
like you just never forget about them. And then when a similar situation arises, you're like, "Whoa, no, never again."
I've asked a couple of players, and oftentimes I'm surprised that the most heartbreaking losses don't necessarily come from TI.
No,
Is
they
yours from TI or no?
No, it's not from TI. It's from another land, though.
Okay.
And it's just like some really stupid things that you will never ever repeat in your life again, because you know how much it just like brought you down.
You live
know?
and you learn, right? That's it.
But it's the thing, like you literally when it happens, you just emo for 1 week. Like I was so sad for just like a week. I was like, how could I let that happen? You know?
Yeah,
Like,
that's actually a big problem. I don't know how much people talk about it in the, like, I haven't noticed any of my ex-colleagues or professional players talk about it, but the game influences your mood so much.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
Like
for sure.
Your whole day depends on how many wins or losses you have in a pub, which isn't really the greatest place to be in as a human being. You know?
When I had my day job, I would oftentimes play Dota before going to work, and like
Oh,
my
big
mood,
mistake.
yeah, it was a huge mistake because I would show up and like depending on if it was a minus or plus day, that would entirely determine how I felt during my day at work, and
Yeah.
so I just had to stop. I couldn't let my mood be dictated by a video game outside.
And now imagine you're a pro player and you're screaming and you lose all your screams. Like you're just done. You know, it's not really a healthy environment that way. But I'm not really sure how you can deal with it.
Actually, I feel like scrimming is probably easier to deal with losing than it is in pub games, because like you got a team, you know, you're gonna talk everything through. But if you lose a pub game because of some guy,
you
like,
internalize
ruining your game.
exactly. It's all inside of you. Like
Yeah, like
you
I don't want
can't-
to let it out, man. It's pub game.
Yeah.
Oh, you. Ugh.
Literally, that's my gym. That's my gym energy. I don't rage in pubs, and people ask me like, how do you remain calm? Like I rage out 1 out of 15 games. Gym, dude, you run.
Got to channel it somehow.
Exactly.
Okay, like one short story here. I told you I worked as an electrician before, right? I had a terrible day of Dota the day before.
Okay.
And I finished all my work that I was supposed to do in 8 hours and 5, because I was just like, let's get this done. No lunch break, nothing. I was just so mad. And my boss is like, yo, you don't seem so good. And go home. I was all right. Sorry, man.
Goes home, plays pubs more, loses more, gets even angrier.
Next day, 4 hours. What's wrong with you, Dominic? Are you all right?
Becomes a marathon runner.
Great.
Like you're steaming.
Smoke out the ears.
Okay, so in the last series, we did see Ancient Apparition banned out in the first stage together with Beastmaster, and this time around, AA does go through and EHOME instantly snatch it. It's a hero that has been popular in the first season, but after the recent buffs, this is a top-tier position 5.
It is, and also because a lot of like quote-unquote region heroes are very popular, or heroes that your ult helps identify, like Phantom Lancer.
Necro, Huskar, both in the meta. Back
Alchemist.
Again. Alchemist.
It just shuts down so many picks. It's like you can still play them, it's just so uncomfortable.
It makes your life easier versus tanky heroes. Like sometimes,
I mean, even Bristleback.
If you're playing an AA, you just can't be tanky enough versus.
I want to make this a thing, guys. My term, tank breaker. Like AA fits that perfectly.
Okay.
Makes every hero, even with high magic resistance, very squishy.
I'm better. I'm more on board with that than Kyle's cleanse. He's trying to bring that from Han. It's a
Cleanse, yeah.
dispel
It's a
or
dispel,
a purge.
yeah.
We do not call them cleanses here. All the
I
filthy
think
European
he
casters.
gave up. He gave up.
No,
Yeah.
he's been doing. He's
He's
like,
still doing
I
it,
heard
yeah.
Moxie say cleanse the other day. I'm like, no, I'm losing her. I'm losing her to Kyleisms.
We won't get that carryover in the game, I'm pretty sure. There's enough of hate towards it that we will not see it. We have a very, like, if A is a tank breaker, this Earth Spirit plus A, it breaks the whole fleet pretty much.
Yeah. it's a-
Shipbreaker.
For any boomers out there, a mammoth tank breaker. Ooh.
Hey, we were just talking about
CNC.
CNC Red Alert a little bit earlier.
Yeah, Command and Conquer. Probably nobody knows what we're talking about because they're all like 17.
What are you talking about? People who watch Chinese Dota, they're high-class individuals.
Exactly.
They're veterans to Dota.
The coaches here are like 40.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
people that are watching are their age.
That's actually an interesting demographic. I wonder which region has the oldest viewer base.
That is a good question. But it could be Russia, potentially.
Okay, so Eastern Europe. I would say that
Eastern
Southeast
Europe,
Asia
maybe.
probably has the youngest viewer base, I would say.
Like I can tell
The
you from my
youngest?
Yeah.
experience, like when I travel, like I lived in Ukraine for quite some time now. Dota is very well known in Russia as well. Like the older population actually knows all about the game. It's just one of those things that's very.
So kind of like League in Korea?
Yeah,
something like
it's in the culture.
Or
Everyone knows
Fortnite in
about Dota.
America.
Oh, get me
Yeah.
out,
We
man.
won't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. But what we do want to talk about, why Lion instead of Phoenix? What do you think?
They did pretty well with that Lion in the first game. I like Phoenix with Mars versus the AA way
I
more.
think it was much better overall, like less counters, just easier to pull off. And now the Phoenix is banned, you're not getting that again.
Yep, for sure. For sure, I would rather have that Phoenix, but if you're picking Mars and you're not picking Phoenix instantly, maybe
Storm
you know.
again.
Okay, maybe that's why as well. But you have to think of it historically in this draft. Lion was the first pick, right? And now you got the Storm afterwards too. They already showed their two supports, so they won't get any cash from them. You need to counter this Storm with either your mid laner or off lane.
This Earth Spirit can pose some problems, though, for Storm Spirit. They're just blasting through those drafts every time.
Not anymore. They have a solution for everything. So okay, here's my logic as a scrub. They pick Lion because they wanted to pick Storm. And the way to counter Storm...
No, that's it.
Yeah. And the way to counter Storm is slippery heroes like Void Spirit or Puck, but they ended up banning out Puck. So you have Lion as crowd control for whoever's going to counter Storm. And then they already saw the first phase Earth Spirit, get a Batten afterwards to purge off the silences.
You're smarter than your beard.
Pattern
alone,
recognition,
Tsunami,
my
yeah.
friends.
I mean, this is literally why we keep saying Dota is not actually that complicated, guys. Like, everybody that plays Dota, they just make it complicated, you know? It's like...
They
drafting,
overcomplicate.
Yeah, drafting is not that hard. Like, just pick stuff that synergizes.
Okay, so I have to respectfully disagree. It's easy to watch these teams draft and to talk about it.
Okay.
It's easy because it makes sense. However, when you go a tier down, that's where drafting becomes and analyzing it very difficult because...
I thought you were going to go the other direction. I thought you were going to say when we go a tier up to the S tier, then that's when it becomes even more complicated again.
No. S tier becomes even more easier to analyze and see. Like if you're looking at IG versus EG, you can pretty much predict what they're picking every single time.
You
right?
can predict.
Their
The
draft.
thing is, their drafts are so flexible that oftentimes you know what they're going to pick, but you don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, Bulb is just going to pick Storm every single game. You obviously know what's going to happen.
You probably will not expect that to happen, but you know.
Quintuple Storm from at bat.
I mean, what complicated... What's there to decipher there?
I feel like at some point it's just too much for a player, right? Like, give me something else.
No, I feel there's even a problem of playing the same hero while dominating with him because you become a little bit
complacent.
Complacent. You don't really think about your moves as much.
If you go 16-0 the first game, the second game you are not going to perform nearly as well.
Exactly. That's what
because
I've
you
seen.
can't.
Yeah, that
you
makes
can't
sense.
exceed that, you know.
First, you can't exceed that, and second, you've dominated so hard that you feel that your power level is a little bit higher than it truly is. You
But
know?
also, it's a brain thing because you know you have like different compartments in your brain. Like my Storm compartment after the game is a bit low on energy. I need to recharge. Give me like a game or two to relax.
Yeah, how is your Storm compartment after 5 games of Storm?
Well, it's probably just
Shriveled.
deleted from the brain.
Okay, back to the draft a little bit. EHOME, they're pretty much a lot into the magic damage when it comes to the early game. However, the new Luna Shard is pretty sick. We've seen the hero banned out quite a bit recently. It's solid. Elephant insta-picking that Abaddon as well to help out the Storm a little bit because you can buy Yules, you can buy BKB, but having an Aphotic Shield early on in the game is pretty neat.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Lizard.
Yes.
What happens when his Mars and Storm get a BKB? Where is the damage?
It's a problem. BKB is a nice item. I'm not going to disagree.
Like they have nothing that goes through BKB.
Luna with BKB. Luna later on with items obviously does deal damage,
Sure,
right?
sure.
But they don't. I agree completely.
Yeah, I feel like they have some like scary timings here. Like We have seen a couple of Masters go BKB first, even before Blink. Like, I could see this happen this game
Some
as well.
pipe
Pose it
is
from
super high value for
Night Stalker. Now BKB is even more valuable,
them. Yeah.
but it's a very good hero against these backlines.
And they're extremely active early on.
Like EHOME is going full aggro.
That's what they tried to do in the first game too, with their draft with Lash safe lane, but it failed. This time around, it's a little bit, let's say, wonkier even.
So Elephant need a hero that can fight and defend. Troll is risky because they have AA, but it would lane and destroy the Night Stalker very hard.
You really, versus AA, it's really hard though,
It's
right?
very risky, it is, yeah. What other carries are there for heroes that you feel comfortable playing to this kind of tempo game?
What about some, I know it can be difficult versus Night Stalker, what about some Lifestealer? Is it banned out? You're playing into Luna as well.
Yeah, Lifesteal is okay.
Would be pretty sick. Storm, Lifestealer, jump on top of Luna all throughout the game.
It's just a little bit scary with
It's
the
buffed
Night
though.
Stalker.
Yeah, with the Night Stalker, with the silences.
And with
it
the
can be
Earth
hard,
Spirit.
yeah. And you don't really want to buy a BKB, I guess. You'll never rage out. I like the Lifestealer versus Luna. Historically,
it's
been
good.
great, right?
I mean, it's a tough game to draft into, honestly. Like,
Jug as well. No, Jug is banned.
Like, I feel like AA Night Stalker already make you not want to pick
Anything.
90% of the heroes.
Just pick
What about some, like, Medusa?
Sounds all right.
Because like, you don't really care about your health too much. You will never really shatter. The lane is quite good against Night Stalker. Team fighting should be quite decent. And the lineup goes pretty well with Medusa too, I think. Arena, Stonegaze.
Yeah, you don't really want something like a Raid King or anything like that, right? Or
Spectre. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's the other hero that doesn't really care too much about all that stuff.
They have so many ways of jumping on top of her, following her through that Spectral Dagger, though.
Also, Blade Mail is like, if Luna ever casts Eclipse under Blade Mail, you're dead. Yeah. It's a good pick.
I'm pretty encouraged. And obviously, after seeing them in game one, I didn't have any shortcomings. Their draft was solid. Their gameplay was solid. This seems easy to execute.
It's hard to go against Elephant after seeing game one. But
we saved the butts for Lizard. Lizard, give me the butt.
No. He started it. I can't.
Okay, Black, what's the butt?
EHOME's draft can definitely overpower them in the early game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if they go hard, EHOME can win this game, but I'm going to go with Elephant.
I'll mix things up a little bit here. I'll go with EHOME. I think that they do have what it takes to take this game. I think Luna is... Spectre is solid as well, but Luna with the shard is something else, something different. This is what makes EHOME work.
But...
No, he already committed.
That's it.
I do like the nighttime synergy between Eclipse and Night Stalker.
How long is nighttime with Eclipse? 10 seconds?
It's shorter than that, I think.
Maybe 6, something like that.
Maybe 10. Regardless, give me the elephant. I want the elephant. After seeing game one, it's hard to turn it down.
I like the decision. Give me Elephant.
But I want to see what B-Cup and Lacoste have to say.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Yeah, all right.
Go ahead.
Well, I usually get my better predictions from the world around me.
Oh, right. You're into divination.
Yeah, the divination is always pretty good. But I fell asleep watching some Legend of Zelda speedruns last night. I woke up to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild speedrun, and he was in the Elephant Temple.
Okay.
Elephant is my pick.
Yeah, I'll go with Elephant as well. I'll expand it in the game. I believe the game started, so we have to rush
All right,
things.
fine. We'll wrong warp speedrun into the game. See you guys later for game number 2.
Thank you, Tsunami. Coming into game number 2, Elephant up 1-0 over EHOME. And got ourselves a bit of a pause to start out.
Yeah, well, what's a Dota game if we don't have a pause at the start? You know,
Doesn't
it
exist.
happens in all of the public games. You click the ready button, you're not ready. Why did you click the button? You know, you can pick your hero, go to the toilet, do whatever you need to do. This time around, they're playing on LAN, so could be a bit of an issue. There's always some kind of an issue at the LAN, but we save those so that they don't happen later on. You know, just use them at the start, so other 5 weeks are going to run smoothly.
Work out the kinks.
Exactly. So EHOME, they have very aggressive lineup. Like this lineup can, take you out of your comfort zone. With the Night Stalker, especially the Night Stalker pick, I think this hero is really strong. Just going into the back lines. you can't dispel this silence. Like, you need a BKB. It's especially strong against the ABBA. I also remember during one of the tournaments, online tournaments, where Virtus.pro had an interview, like, how do they counter a Baton when Sky wasn't really that popular? Like, we're just going to silence him. And he can't do anything. I think this is the same way of thinking. You need to be a bit more on top of him. And it's also an AoE silence, so you can potentially control the Storm Spirit, control a Lion. They have a very chaotic lineup that can go in, very maneuverable. You have Earth Spirit, you have Global Presence coming on from the Ancient Apparition, Elusive Void Spirit, very hard to catch. Looks good. You know, I think this game is going to be much more competitive than the previous one.
Yeah, for sure. I think EHOME, they've got a lot of reach, like you were saying. Just a lot of global presence. You know, you're probably going to get a Blink Dagger on the Night Stalker at some point, right?
Eventually, yeah.
Because then you can get on him, have that silence. You can have Ags on the Void Spirit. But the jump there, roll in, Astral Step, maybe Blink with the Night Stalker, lead that. We've seen a lot of good communication with Ice Blast. Like, throughout both the SEA and the Chinese regions, just like, hey, this is where we're going, shoot the Ice Blast, we're on it, pickoffs are happening, and I really haven't seen a team kind of mess that up just yet. It seems like a lot of teams are just on it, like that communication, which obviously every team needs to really tighten that up. It's just been on point with that combination.
Yeah, AA is the hero that, I'm going to say every Position 5 knows how to play, but eventually, if you play Dota, you play the hero. And especially when paired up with the Earth Spirit, these two heroes go way back. Just strong combination of the heroes. You know, we have so much magical damage. They synergize well together, especially once AA has his second ability maxed out, the increased magic damage. Like, everything they have pretty much is magical until Luna starts getting some right-click items, which is going to take a while. I want to see Luna Shard this game. It's a shard that's got really buffed. Like, it's a different shard than in the previous patch, where you launch 2 attacks. It also works out.
Earth Spike on the XM, God's Rebuke, and he'll dissimilate, but he's still near. And we'll get that kill. Moving to what you were saying about the shard, what is the, like, where does that shard fit in a Luna build? Is that like second item? Is that
Nah, you still need
item?
like a farming item. Manta Style got buffed, so this is a must-have item. Potentially, you know, sneak it in as maybe third, maybe fourth item. It's a lot of damage because it works with, like, if I think Daedalus is very viable, especially combined with the shard, because you can get the criticals off it. It works with the glaives, the bounces, lifesteal also, like only the first one. Let's say you have Satanic at the later stages of the game. New Satanic also super powerful, having a Dispel. Just very strong item on certain heroes at the moment.
Does Elephant have a way of neutralizing the earlier parts of this game so EHOME kind of can't get the ball rolling too quickly?
They have also the global presence, kind of a Storm Spirit jumping in, Spectre. I think Spectre is a hero that people slept on, even during the previous patch. She received a buff for her shard on top of it. It's like Soul Ring got buffed, so some of the indirect buffs on top of that. You get some armor, 50 gold less on the item, but she needs some help top. And you will have Red Panda. He starts with the Mist Coil, level 1. Man, I miss the good old days. Mist Coil, keep spamming it, deny yourself. No, I don't. No, I really do not. Fade, let's see if he can block the small camp, trying to do it. And he does not do it. It's very hard. It's much harder, you know, getting the second pull off and the blocking off the... He also gonna deny one range creep.
He got in front of Fade on that roll. He's got Mist Coil. Can he get this kill? Just not fast
good
enough.
jukes. Good jukes there. No boots of speed. He's gonna be fine.
Just gonna keep harassing him.
He's...
Fair enough.
He is bringing a healing sound, so he won't go back. Maybe. I mean, you know, using those early TPs, it's 100 gold.
Yeah.
You know, to buy it, and you only have one. So if you want to make a rotation, you need to buy a second TP. That's why you need to be very careful as a position 4. Any hero that can kind of rotate using your TP, like at the early stages. Like, that's why he buys. Like, he buys a second TP just to be able to, you know, have a TP rotation ready for a possible mid lane, maybe even the bottom lane.
So Fade goes back to base, TP's back in, gives the salve over to Chalice. Red Panda avoiding the roll, but still gets hit up pretty hard by that Hellbear. Nice job by Fade, I think, coming in like that. And not, you know, popping the salve on himself, staying in the lane, ends up going back, heals up, TP's in. Has to buy another TP, though. Like you said, that 100 gold investment early on is pretty hefty.
What Earth Spirits love to do is drag the second creep wave between tier 1, tier 2 tower, but nicely done by Red Panda. He kind of stopped it, harassed him quite a lot.
Landing on X-Nova, turning with Elusive Beam. Oh, chilling touch shot from X-Nova, kills off FY.
It's a lot of harassment, a lot of damage on the bottom lane. You have this Lunar Blessing, you have Chilling Touch. A Lion, he is trying to get the Tranquils. Might need to invest in a bit more, you know, into tangos, TPing mid, refilling the bottle. Man, I love me some refilling bottles. Top lane.
Roll out on Eurus, but Eurus gets the kill with the Spectral Dagger. They're going to go after Chalice. They've got some right clicks in. Red Panda trying to get some mana back to get another Miscoil off. Doesn't have enough for the Aphotic Shield just yet, but they should have the damage, and Eurus gets a double.
That's pretty big. You know, Red Panda doing a very good job in this top lane. I kind of like the Miscoil instead of the Aphotic Shield level 1, where you can harass people. He's going to try to suicide. A rotation on the mid lane from Earth Spirit kick. That should be a kill.
Chao got Somnus just getting cleaned up by Fade. Chalice, he gets credit for that Red Panda suicide.
This is a rotation that I was talking about. Like, if you get the second wave between tier 1, tier 2 tower, you TP mid. If your hero has any kind of like disable, slow, whatever, like it's a kind of guaranteed kill for the Earth Spirit players. They roll in, they kick you back closer to the tower. Rune spawning. Red Panda doing a good job just taking away that rune, but there is still one rune that spawned a minute ago. Something has to change about this, because it's just too many runes around them. Like, you have runes at 2, 3, 4 a minute mark, and then you have one at 6, and then 6 again. It's just too many runes.
I truthfully liked it the way it was.
Yeah, I really did. I don't mind, you know, seeing something new, like a water rune, but then other things need to be adjusted as well.
Yeah, I agree. But, you know, that's how it goes. See a patch, see how it works, clean it up, change it up, balance it out. Hopefully, you know, work it through, maybe throughout the season. I don't know if that's how it's going to go down in terms of patches. I've probably taken a lot of damage from these right clicks of X-Nova. Another Chilling Touch shot in FY.
Another
down to 50
rotation
health.
On a mid lane Fade. TP'd to the tier 1 tower on mid. I'm gonna go bottom.
So Somnus now level 6. Has that ball lightning to work with. Eurus is not CSing that well. Only 17 and 5.
He got 2 kills, so that's okay. But now during the nighttime, it's gonna be a bit problematic. Night Stalker puts a lot of pressure, especially if Earth Spirit connects. Like, they get on top of Red Panda, he should be dead. Chalice a bit under-leveled, because he died once. Fade needs to stay out of XP range so that he gets that level 5.
Yeah, he really would like to get more experience out onto this Night Stalker, get him to a quicker 6. And they spot this rotation from Fade as well as XM. They do have the 2 Astral Steps ready to go on XM as well as the roll from Fade, so they need to be weary about these heroes that have rotated over. They know that X-Nova is there as well, so 3 heroes towards mid at the moment for EHOME.
While Somnus is just farming their jungle. He's level 6, could potentially make a rotation on the bottom lane. Luna is still level 5. She's tanky, you know, 6-1 charges, power treads and strength, 1100 HP, but not level 6 yet. Like, this is such a good game for Spectre to get a Blade Mail against all this overtime damage, Earth Spirit, Ancient Apparition, and Luna. She's like never gonna feel comfortable using that Eclipse on you.
So what would you like to see the build-up be for Eurus then?
Yeah, it's just Blade Mail Manta.
Yeah.
You have a way of dispelling the silences, not the one from the Night Stalker, but the rest, and potentially, you know, share the damage from the Eclipse with those illusions. It increases your tank ability, the farm potential. That's just too good of an item on Spectre to skip.
Right. So just pretty standard overall. They're going to have a rotation up towards top. It's the Storm who's up here. Chalice needs to be careful. There is a double damage available on Somnus.
I didn't see where he TP'd from. Maybe he was TPing underneath the ward, but
they immediately backed up.
Yeah, they knew either that or they're very good at just realizing where they are. Silence roll didn't connect.
They're going to go after Eurus. They've got the Astral Step. They've got the Aether Remnant with it. X-Nova trying to get the kill with the Chilling Touch, as well as the Cold Feet on top of Eurus. The Spear lands. Eurus is going to survive. They'll go after XM. They've got the God's Rebuke. He's in the arena. They'll get the kill here onto the Void Spirit, I believe. But while that's happening, they'll go after Chalice. They've got the right clicks in. And Son is getting low. One more shot, and he's gone. Oh, Chalice falls, but man, they lose Somnus in what looked like a certain kill. They will take a fourth, so Elephant, they don't come out unscathed, but they do find 4 kills in this exchange.
Sylar, he popped the Lucent Beam. He needs one more, has Magic Wand charges. Let's see if Yang can somehow juke this. Luna has Night Vision, so he should be dead there.
Tried to play Ring Around the Rosie for a second,
yeah,
but
I thought Somnus is not going to die there. If there was like one more Aphotic Shield, could potentially keep him alive. But so far, a much better trade for Elephant. They bring pretty much every single hero to the top lane, and most importantly, they save Spectre. Spectre lived. Haunt not available anymore, going for that Blade Mail that we talked about. Pretty like standard stuff. FY will deny the region rune.
Off this too, EHOME all TP back towards top to go for a tier 1 tower.
Because Luna TP top, so they want to kind of secure the top tower. They have enough damage. They know Spectre doesn't have ulti, and they are using the strength of a Night Stalker right now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So they're going to take this tier 1 tower. Bottom lane, Eurus just farming up that Blade Mail, like you said. He's here with Yang, who probably go for a Blink Dagger.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Interested to see what FY wants to go for.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like potential Hood one more time. Even Pipe, like this is where the damage is coming from. Luna, Earth Spirit, Ancient Apparition, all they have is magical, and Yang showed in the previous game like that he is not afraid to just go first item. Hood/Pipe on the Legion Commander. Mars is a bit different type of a hero. Jump.
Somnus caught in the Radiant jungle pretty deep. They had vision on him, ready to go. That is...
Somnus forgot that he's not playing Radiant.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, you look at Somnus getting killed there and maybe dying a couple more times than he'd like. I guess it goes back to thinking about last season, where Somnus kind of felt like he was in a slump the whole season.
Yeah, not the performance that we expected to see from Somnus, because he set the bar for himself very high. You know, always expect that he's gonna be like the best, but it just didn't work out for them. I wouldn't blame like a single person from Elephant. I think it was just the collective.
Yeah.
That just everyone pretty much played at the same level. No one was really standing out. Couldn't like say, yeah, it was FY's fault or it was like Somnus' fault that didn't qualify. It was just that everyone was pretty much playing mediocre.
Geomagnetic Grip with the roll in, and they'll use the Eclipse. Yang kind of gets baited in a bit too far as Somnus went for XM. Looking good for EHOME at the moment. This is the early game we were kind of hoping we'd see from EHOME.
Their lineup is really good. Mid lane.
Stun lands, Ball Lightning in with the Vortex. They've got the finger in the kill. Red Panda getting credit for that one, and that is a stack here for FY. Earlier stack, finally, than the previous game on that line.
We expected this to be a bit more even game. EHOME's lineup is very early game oriented. Both supports are level 6, 7, so they can make the rotation. They will want to keep fighting. There they go.
They're going to jump in. They're going to look for Somnus once again. They've got the Ice Blast flying in. That hits onto the Abaddon. They have the silence on a couple with the Magnetize as well. Somnus dead. Still chasing for a +1. They've got the slow. They have the Cold Feet. Hex out onto the Night Stalker. He's running, but he's not running fast enough. Lucent Beam is there, and the kill comes in for X-Nova on FY.
And this will be a free tower for them. So they already cleaned 2. Red Panda ulti gets procced. So no ulti for 60. Night Stalker. Like, you can try to go for different items on the Night Stalker, but BKB Blink Dagger like considering the toolkit that he has right now, is just too good. And then you like get a nullifier to slow people down, deal with the 4-stab glimmer capes.
Ice Blast onto Eurus. I thought they were going to make an even more aggressive move, but instead they look at the ancient apparition.
What a play!
Okay.
Okay,
That's
what a
heads
play.
up by Somnus. And they get in front of the roll. They will get this kill on the Fade.
He did the math, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was, if I jump here and jump back, I can still pull him and get the kill on Ancient Apparition. That was nicely done. Kaya finished on him, just needs to use the courier. Also Haste Rune about to be picked up. Luna, Yasha into Mask of Madness, so this hero is going to be extremely farmed. They also had a couple of stacks. We're going to see that one again.
It's just the scene from The Hangover, where you see all the numbers go in front of his eyes. He's like, can I do both? And he does.
Yeah. Galifianakis is doing math. Very smart, especially in the movie. Smart individual.
But he's always caught in between two ferns. I never understood it. Ice Blast comes in, hit on a Somnus, now going after the Ancient Apparition. FY, as well as Red Panda, just trying to hit onto this XM Void Spirit. They're draining a lot of his mana. They've got the silence on a Somnus who's running around with a haste. They pop the borrowed time. They get the kill on a Sylar up in the top lane. With the Arena, they had two heroes there to get a kill onto the Luna, while they are pretty much too busy with what's going on bottom.
Yeah, whenever you see, you know, team getting multiple kills on two different sides, that's just a good sign. You know, even the net worth is pretty much the same. They are using 3 heroes that they need to kill the Luna with, while the rest of the team is just making a rotation to the bottom. Even though it's only position 5 kill, it still feels very good. I don't mind Somnus this time around. Getting that Kaya into BKB, definitely need a BKB. Like, BKB is a must in this game against the Night Stalker. All these silences, Eclipse. You are not going to have Orchids. You're not going to be like this big threat.
Right.
You know, you just jump one guy, that guy is dead. But if you find Ancient Apparition before he can get the blast off, Ice Blast off, it's a super valuable kill.
So a 1K lead now for Elephant. And that's a big moment in this game, I think, to slow down that Luna. That is just towards the top of the net worth. You've got Eurus finally cutting it back. He's got that Blade Mail. Oof. To me, XM, I know he's waiting for this Ags, but I'd like to see a little bit more from him in this game.
I think they relied so much on getting multiple kills on the Storm Spirit with the rotation from Earth Spirit. It just didn't happen. Like, he tried to go for that sneaky play with the second wave and the TP, but didn't work out.
Going after Yang on this Mars. They've got the control. They'll have the kill. Hard to run away with that silence on top of you. And he's going into the BKB first. So he's gone phase with the Soul Ring, going into the BKB. They won't have that Blink Dagger to start with the Mars, looking for that Blink initiation, but I'm not sure they need it.
Nah, especially, you know, with them having also really good initiation. If he gets jumped on, he's just straight up dead.
Ice Blast comes through, Red Panda hit. Borrowed time gets popped, he'll start to run. And the Earth Spike lands in on the XM. Do they have the damage to kill Red Panda? Doesn't look
he's
like
fine. He's all good. So yeah, he's going into BKB this time around. I also wouldn't mind seeing Pipe that I already mentioned. But with the BKB, they have no abilities that go through Magic Immunity, so I can understand that he wants to just be able to scale.
Right.
Like, it's just, I'll protect myself, I go in, they have a good jump with the Storm Spirit, with the Spectre. Like, Spectre, not talk too much about her, Eurus having a pretty free game, 5-0 and 5.
Oh, may have baited in Somnus. They've got the silence with the roll coming out, but a good 2-man stun from FY. Now they'll use that ulti from Eurus. They'll get that kill on a Chalice. They look over at Fade. The Ice Blast coming in. That hits on a Somnus, who's also affected by the Magnetize. Ooh, Earth Spike. Not on the money. Fade doesn't have a TP to
he's
work
out
with.
of the game, but
I think FY spotted him off that.
Kicked him also, tried to go for kick out of the game. Pizza Party, did not happen.
And they catch him.
Somnus will catch him in the end.
He was fine where he was, and he felt the need to make another move.
Yeah, sometimes being too smart is not good. If you ask me how I know, a friend told me, because I'm definitely not too smart.
I was going to say, I have no frame of reference for that. question is that friend too smart
No,
for
that
his own
friend
good?
is
or
not you. That friend is not you if you're
No,
asking
no, no,
yourself,
no.
okay.
That wasn't what I was going to ask.
So, yeah, Luna, yeah, she needs a BKB as well.
Yeah.
Like, has a bit more farm than Spectre. You farm faster, of course, with the glaives, with the stacks. She's also level 15, while Spectre is only level 13. So, having a BKB.
Night Stalker, too.
The Night Stalker, once they finish the BKB on the Night Stalker and Luna, it's go time. You're also going to have Aghanim Scepter on Void Spirit. The items are well synchronized. You still have 2.5 minutes left on the nighttime plus ulti, so that's 3 minutes. You know, I'm just thinking, maybe I should start thinking highly of myself, doing math while casting the game.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
impressive.
everything I'm doing. Maybe I'm not as smart as I
Now you're
think.
also breathing. And
Yeah, breathing. It's thank God it's automatic.
it's automatic until you start thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You also have the BKB being built here for the Earth Spirit. He's pretty far from it, but one good fight could push him really close, and that would be
Like
another
they
bit
have
of a
the
spike.
items. Like they have the 3 big items. Everything is pretty much perfectly synergized. This is what you want to see. Sometimes someone is too farmed, and then you're like, man, you need to get on my level. Somnus, no BKB yet, needs 200 gold, will be an easy pick-off.
They're just on top of him, but he's shutting down Somnus enough. Like, you're shutting down Somnus, but you're not really shutting down Eurus, and you're not completely shutting down Yang at the moment.
And this is a free Roche for them. Luna has double damage, they get 2 great pick-offs. It's just not going to be contested. They don't have anything to deal with this. I'm wondering if Luna or Void Spirit will be picking it up. I suppose you want to give it to Luna, because you can siege much better. Void Spirit still very elusive, has a Nether Shawl, so some magic resistance on top of that, AoE silence charges, and she will be the one picking it up.
So he just picked up for Sylar, and that was a little bit of a 1-2 punch with the Roche at the end that really is what they were looking for, because it's a good amount of gold going the way for Fade and the entire team. So he gets closer to that BKB. You start finishing off these items. You know, you've got now Ags there for XM. You have BKB for the Night Stalker. He's looking for the Blink Dagger, which we were talking about earlier on. And I just think the item progression here for EHOME kind of hits a big point in the next, like,
yeah, they didn't even
minute or
pop
two.
the BKBs at all, so these are not 10-second BKBs anymore, but full duration 9-second BKBs. And Chalice, like, he found the farm to get his BKB, working towards the Blink Dagger. It's going to be much easier to jump
Roll
the back
mid.
lines.
We've got the Silence Boulder Smash on to
Oh,
Yang.
BKB
Magnetize.
flying. He needs a second. Let's see.
He can pop the BKB, the Silence, the Ice Blast all coming in. Now the Earth Spike through, but the BKB well timed by Chalice. Finger, Spear, and the kill on the Fade. They've got themselves at least one with the Astro Step coming through. They get the kill on the Yang. It ends up being a trade. FY trying to TP out, but the Aether Remnant pulls the kill, gets one on, then a third. Chalice getting Red Panda. XM almost got a triple kill. He was in pretty late to that fight. XM comes away with 2 kills. And, I mean, man, from Chalice, too, that was a perfect time BKB.
Yeah, he dodged the Earth Spike from Lion. He was holding on to that BKB. AA Blast, it goes through Magic Immunity nowadays, so, like, you can't dispel it. And good jump from the Void Spirit on top of that, stopping the TP from Lion. Chalice with his new purchase BKB. Spectre was like, nah, I'm not going in. Like, this fight's already over. Storm Spirit, like, the timing that Elephant was looking for was this BKB on the Storm Spirit, BKB on Mars, and they would probably just smoke, try to look for a kill, and then they can also potentially take the Roche, but it didn't really work out, because once Spectre has the Manta style, you just have enough damage to take the Roche.
Are you in a spot for Elephant where you can slow down the game and hope to get, like, the Orchid picked up in the Storm, or do you have to fight here? Because giving time over to the Radiant obviously means that Luna's really going to bulk up.
Their pick-off potential is really good, especially since FY has a Blink Dagger. Fingers on cooldown for 20, so might not have enough burst damage. AA scouting things out with the Vortex, but they're still smoked.
They're smoked, but not able to make a move. So we're just going to take this stack. Man, he's farming really well right now.
Tribute
They need to figure out what they can do to slow down this Luna, and it's certainly not going to be that. XM getting the kill there on an FY. I mean, XM, I said I wanted to see more from him. He was 0-2-3 when I said it, and he's gotten 4 unanswered kills. He's really picked up the pace.
Yeah, you kind of predicted it. Can you say that I will be a rich man, you know, in the next few years? Not necessarily money rich, but spiritually rich, and you know, just that I can find the inner peace.
Yeah, you know, right now you're building the next few items, get towards that inner peace. I think by the 40, 50-year-old mark, you could be there, inner peace.
Yeah, well, then I can retire and just enjoy living, you know, near the seaside, having a good life. Thank you, B-Cup. We'll invite you to just chill with me. EHOME, yeah, it's like, in terms of net worth, game pretty even, but this Void Spirit causing a lot of issues. Same goes for Luna. Elephant, they wanted to go for like 1 pick-off. Finger was still on cooldown, couldn't find anything. They need to slow things down a bit until like Spectre becomes really big. You always have, like whenever you're playing against Spectre, against AM,
they're going to go for
well,
Spectre.
this is a good pick-off.
They've got the silences. There's no way out, it feels. But Ball Lightning with BKBs, they're going to try and turn this around. They've got the electric vortex on XM. The spear hits from Yang. They get the kill on yours, but are they going to get out of this unscathed? They'll take out Fade, 2 gone, make it a 3rd. Chalice out, he's done and dusted. And all of a sudden, EHOME, yeah, they get the kill on the Eurus, but they lose 3 really quick, and Elephant responds
Luna was
very
not
well.
there. Like, they need Luna. Luna is their damage dealer right now. She still had Aegis for another 30 seconds. They did not want to pop it. Like, if you use Eclipse there, pretty much the fight is just over. But Spectre, she can tank, like, and she can deal a ton of damage with the Blade Mail, with the Dispersion. Like, they dropped the, like, 60% HP, and the rest of the team just jumps in and cleans them up. I definitely did not expect that the Spectre can tank so much with just these 2 items.
Feels really strong, and you know, despite the fact that Eurus dies, they still come out ahead on that, and they get the tier 1 over mid.
This is what happens when teams don't play a certain hero, and when you don't play against him, you just kind of forgot. Like, you could see the EHOME also being unpleasantly surprised by the amount of damage that Spectre is dealing while not actually right-clicking or dealing any kind of damage. So, yeah, she's becoming more tanky.
Ball Lightning mid. Go after X-Nova. Ooh, they got the Hex out, but the silences come through on multiple heroes. They're going to turn this around and get themselves a 1 on the FY. They're going to Astral Step away with the BKBs being popped by Chalice as well as Yang. They're still trying to fight into this. Yang, he'll stay inside the arena, keeping Sylar at bay. Red Panda, though, not hit by that Aether Remnant. It's actually Yang who gets hit by it. They'll go for the Eclipse. It's not really doing enough damage. They'll look over at Eurus, but this is a BKB as well as an Eclipse wasted by Sylar.
Back in.
Ball Lightning in, but that's into the silence of Chalice that's around him in an AoE. They've got the Yules. They'll land the Spear. They'll get the kill onto the Night Stalker and take out a 3rd. Well played again by Elephant, and this time they don't even get Eurus.
Yeah, this Eclipse actually did 0 damage in the team fight. Abba, he doesn't really care too much about it. He could potentially pop the borrowed time, heal himself up, did not even want to use it straight away, and I believe it was Spectre. She just like runs away when the BKB is up. If BKB is down with the Eclipse, she will gladly go in, pop the Blade Mail, and kill the Luna. Now, oh, Spectre, man, she's, you know, staying 2k, almost full 3k behind Luna, but she's doing so much more. Once you get that Scotty, the movement speed slow, the HP lifesteal regeneration also gonna kick in.
He's 5-1 and 13 on Eurus. And he, like you said, 2-3k behind, involved way more. Sylar is only 3-1 and 5.
So he's been involved in so many more kills.
I feel like you definitely want more.
Yeah,
from
one of the
Sylar.
reasons why he was so tanky there is the Nether Shawl. Like, having a free, better hood also helps out quite a lot. I can't believe that this item still is. This is a tier 2 item.
25%.
Yeah, 20.
Is
It's just casual.
massive.
25%. You know, you have.
That's tier 3 or tier 4 to me. That amount.
That's tier 3 item. No doubt about it.
Really kind of wild.
Yeah, but you get the -3 armor though.
Man, what am I ever gonna do? It's just too much armor. I still have 25 armor. It really just isn't enough of a deterrent to give that away. Somnus caught, Ice Blast in, BKB comes out. Ooh, Ball Lightning. Zap.
Do the math, B-Cup.
He's fine.
I'm saying he's fine.
Yeah. You're hoping as an Ancient Apparition. You do that countdown in your head, you're like, oh, did I get him? No. And it's pretty depressing. Hey, but he survived with like
1 or 2
3%
ticks
spare.
could potentially take him down. Night Stalker has a Blink Dagger now, so it's going to be much easier to get a good jump. Especially on the Abaddon. Like if they isolate one of the heroes, they also need to be careful. Like once Mars uses Arena, the BKBs will be popped, and then like if no one is caught inside of it, the Elephant will try to reset. And their heroes are good at resetting. You know, especially with Abba, Spectre could potentially just TP back home, come back with the ulti, or if she has a buyback, come back to the fight, especially for the second Roche once he's up.
They're wrapping around a little bit. They might be able to catch one out, but right now it would just be Red Panda.
Gem on Somnus. Red Panda bought that one, so they're gonna want to get rid of the vision that they have. Orchid also done, so another layer of control, a bit more silence.
And whoever wins this next fight most likely gets Roche as well. X-Nova breaking the smoke. Cold Feet with the Ice Vortex on the ground, so that'll keep Yang at bay.
Doesn't have a shard yet on AA. It's one of the better shards. Decided to tank up a bit.
Yeah,
Gets the mech, wants to get the Ghost Scepter against Spectre, against the Storm Spirit, which will give him, you know, more survivability.
I guess too, when you're not really dealing with like the Blink Dagger of Yang, Shard kind of loses a little bit of value in that way, where you're not able to cancel that blink.
They have a good jump already. I mean, Shard is good, don't get me wrong, but he also decided to buy a gem. Your job is not to deal damage. It's something extra. Right. You need to buy sentries, wards, whatever you can get, like a Glimmer Cape. He decided to go for mech this time around, try to heal up the damage from possible Spectre ulti. Next Roche is up, so that's also Shard. Like, second Roche is so valuable right now.
Just going right in. Somnus going to go in with the BKB. They've got the finger out on XM. They'll get the kill out of the Void Spirit to start with the Eclipse raining down from Sylar, but is it going to be enough damage to get the kill on FY? They look over Red Panda, who will pop the borrowed time, but here's the Arena as well as the Spear that lands on a Sylar, who gets kicked away. Fade. That's so well done to keep alive his Luna, but is it going to be enough to really just salvage the fight? They got the kill on Somnus. They shook out the Storm Spirit for 65 seconds. They look over as X-Nova falls, and now they've got the Hex on the Chalice. They've caught him without mana now, trying to run, and he will die as Yang gets a double kill.
Chalice really wanted that kill on Abba, but you just jump into Lion. That's a 4-man wipe. They only lost the Storm Spirit. Still a very, very good trade coming this from EHOME. Sorry, for the Elephant. But nice kick, keeping Sylar alive. You know, kind of sacrificing himself there, which is okay. They can just run inside the pit. So you're going to have a Shard. I think you give Shard to Spectre, like this
Dispersion.
This Shard is so good. Yeah, you get the Shadow Step. Whoever dealt damage to you in the last 8 seconds, like, you just jump him. Cooldown 25 seconds.
Arena, Spear, and Hex. Sylar, he's in deep. They've got the roll, the Lucent Beam onto Yang with the Ice Blast coming through. Fade surviving with a little bit of health. He's trying to run away and gets that roll out, but they are on Sylar, and they will get this kill onto the Luna and look for more. XM jumps away with the Astral Step. They get nothing out of this except Sylar gone for 80.
They just lost 2 heroes. Like, first Night Stalker, who's a core, goes in, loses his life. Then Sylar also decides to do the same. Well, you think you can do this? Well, I'm the carry now. Look at me do it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So Mars gonna eat that Shard.
Oh, it's gonna be Mars. Okay, the double spear and a bit of an overtime damage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
They're gonna go for the high ground, looking to finish this one off. Sylar's gone for 45. This is a rough spot to be in. Man, Red Panda also has the Guardian Greaves. He's ready to sustain in this battle. Really looking good for the side of Elephant to potentially just clean this one up in the next 2 minutes or so. They're trying to force the buyback from Sylar. They haven't gotten it just yet.
Yeah, man, second Roche is so valuable. Cheese, Aegis, plus a Shard. In terms of gold, that's like quite a lot. I'm trying to do the math while I'm speaking, failed to do so. But I'm gonna say, you know, Shard is 1400, Aegis, like having Aegis on Spectre, I'd value that right now maybe 4,000 gold.
I was gonna, you know.
What were you gonna say? Like 50 gold?
5, yeah. I gotta
5? Okay.
It's gonna sit in my store for a while.
450,
I gotta resell it.
let's call it 450. And also cheese.
I'll bring out my Aegis expert. He'll get the exact price on it.
You can sell cheese for 500 gold. So let's call that just 1,000. No.
The markup.
Yeah. So that's 450, 550 plus shard. That's almost like 7,000 gold worth of items.
God, with the Reaver. All right, they got it away. They got the Satanic. It was close.
Satanic, like, cooldown got reduced from 35 to 25. You can't dispel it anymore, and you apply a basic dispel once you pop it. So that's pretty big, even though there aren't too many, like, he can't dispel pretty much anything. Possibly, like, silence from Curse of Avernus.
Right.
Not much value in terms of, like, dispelling himself, but it's just the cooldown and the, you know, not having to worry that it's gonna get dispelled is pretty big. And now he has a queued up shard. Now I think the items for Luna should be shard and possibly get a Daedalus, maybe even Divine Rapier after this, where you just need to dish out some serious amount of damage in a short period of time.
You'll have to see what the build-up ends up being after getting this shard. I know shard seems like a very big point of power here for Luna. Should have it soon. But there's the Abyssal. An item that I really haven't seen much of since the nerf.
It's a big nerf. Like, the item was overpowered in the previous patches, where you, like, especially someone who has a jump, now you pretty much need to stand on top of someone to be able to use it.
The old Abyssal. Silence Aether Remnant coming through. They've got the roll with the Yules. They're going to pop the Guardian Greaves. Ball landing coming in with BKB. They're going to jump for this. On the backlines, though, is Chalice. They're going to make something happen. They get the kill defeat. They're going to take out the Earth Spirit right away. Look at the damage come in from Sylar. It's just not going to be enough so far. They did get Somnus. Chalice gone. Buybacks coming around the horn for the side of EHOME. They look over at Fate, who's going to try and roll out, but he hits onto Red Panda. They look for the arena. They land it down. They've got the spear onto the Luna. There's the zip onto Sylar. They'll get the kill. Gone for 90.
Cheese available.
Silence on to Somnus. He got it off. He got the cheese off, just surviving, but he's still locked down. They've got the silence and the stun. Stun is trying to ball landing away back and forth. Is he trying to get out, or is he trying to go after these heroes? It looks like he's turning it around. Fade, Chalice, they will fall once again. They've got 3 heroes still without buyback. They'll look over now at X-Nova as well as XM. They'll get that kill on X-Nova. They'll look over at XM. It's a full team wipe. GG called. Man, Elephant just ravage the base, and they will take this series 2-0 over EHOME.
Yeah, that was such a clutch buyback there coming out from the Storm Spirit, where, like, he got clipped by AA ulti, didn't get the cheese off because, like, it wouldn't heal him anyway, and then, you know, just proceeds to buyback, comes back to the fight. Like, even if he dies after a buyback, gets the clutch cheese off once again, and yeah, after that, it was just, you know, once again, like, domination, expected to be a bit more closer game than the previous one. It was, but still Elephant looking like a much, much better team compared to what they were doing in Season 1.
Right. It just looked a lot cleaner from Elephant, something that we were hoping to see from them in the last season. And, you know, this is through adversity. I think this game was a little bit tougher for them. They had to kind of come back in this one, where it felt like EHOME had really the tools necessary to win that game. They just couldn't get it done. And Elephant looked like they overcame that.
They did. The great performance by Eurus on Spectre. Like, he was sitting low on CS, but he was involved in a lot more kills than Luna, and he showed into the fights that mattered.
Yeah, he did a lot. Probably my MVP, but to show us who the real MVP was is the panel to break down this game, and let's throw it over to them.
Yet again, I'm faced with a hard choice. I don't know. All of Elephant looking good. I think the real MVP might be ROTK. Because how else can you attribute such a night and day shift between Season 1 Elephant and Season 2 Elephant? Blizzard, I didn't get to watch as much of Season 1 as you guys.
This is a different story completely. This is... yeah, they did win the first series in the last season, I believe, as well. But
not as convincingly, though.
Not as convincingly, and not as a team. This is looking like a team. They're playing together. Back then they were playing to, you know, just style on you. This time around it's way more disciplined.
Now they play to win, not to impress.
And it looks solid. Like this lineup of EHOME is nothing to joke about. Like you can easily lose, and Luna right now is in a strong spot. I believe the shard was a little bit too delayed on the side of EHOME. By the time they got it, it couldn't really make as much of an impact because they were always lacking that one extra damage with the A ulti to finish the target off.
Yeah, Black, you had quite a few issues with this Luna in this game in general, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, mostly the way he's skilled. Like, your job as carry Luna is to outscale the enemy, have like an item or two more than them, you know, and just be able to outpower them. But that didn't happen in this game. Spectre was, like, I think at most 1,000 gold behind, but always very close to the Luna, which is very strange. It should not happen. Like, he maxed Beam very early, didn't really join many fights except one, and just really stopped him from farming very well.
And you can't attribute that to the lane, right? Like, you can't attribute it to the lane performance because
it was a free lane.
And the problem is, this map benefits Luna so hard at the moment. There's so many stacking opportunities.
Yeah.
You can stack yourself as well and farm the hard camp, the ancients through the jungle. It's so easy to go, and as a Luna, you should be ahead.
Yeah, didn't happen. Well, at least Elephant showed up. But as we said, last season they won the first game. Until they win at least 2 or 3 more of those in a convincing fashion.
Also, it depends on the opponent. If they're able to pull a series off LGD or Vici or IG
in a similar fashion, then we're convinced.
Exactly. Yeah. But you know, if they beat Sparking Arrow Gaming like this, I'm not going to write home about it.
It's actually such a crazy situation to be in which we talk about EHOME like some underdogs, like a team that, yeah, you should win against, and it's EHOME. These players have quite a nice history of winning tournaments behind them, and Chinese region is just so stacked. Every single team here, even RNG now it feels even stronger than in season 1, really, with RNG being here.
Yeah, I mean, Magma, LBCS are out now. RNG is definitely better than either of those, but you know, SAG might be what they were in the last season. We'll have to see. Maybe they can surprise some people, you know.
They might be bullied a little bit here.
And EHOME's biggest issue that we've seen throughout, well, like not even just the past season, but even like the past year, has been consistency. And so even though they have a storied history and they have good players, not necessarily able to match their standard every single time.
Yeah, I mean, they have the ups and downs. It's just the ups aren't as good as like the top teams in China also. And then they have like the really lows where they lose against teams like Magma, LBCS, you know.
RNG, that they lost versus even one game of the series, that is.
Yeah.
I feel like they also have some... when you look at their game 1 versus Elephant in this series, it's not the same EHOME. It's not even about the draft. Just the way they move across the map. They aren't making any decisive plays. It's like they respect Elephant a little bit too much. I asked Xnova who is he looking forward to playing the most before the season 1, and he was like, Elephant for sure. They're the superstars. They're the gods of the region. And you could see that EHOME were actually the ones that struggled the most against them in season 1, because maybe there's just a little bit too much respect to these old school or well, in Elephant's case, not necessarily only old school, but superstars pretty much.
Yeah, well, they wanted to know who we give the MVP to on the casting desk. It's going to be Spectre, Eurus. I think it was a great last pick. That's also another thing. Again, I will give it to ROTK, but we don't really have the technology for that. But solid last pick. Hero is definitely on the come up.
Again. Unfortunately.
I know.
There wasn't really so when they were drafting, I was thinking about Bristleback. You are playing into AA, but I felt like you don't really have a hero that can sustain himself and survive versus Earth Spirit AA, Night Stalker. But Spectre is kind of the best of both worlds, because you have better scaling potential and you're very difficult to take down.
I mean, it's just you always have like a quarter of your health more HP, right? It's like Dispersion has always been a crazy ability, and they ganked him once, I think, lost 3 heroes for it, and he pretty much almost solo killed them because of Dispersion and Blade Mail. It's a strong hero, hated it when it was meta. It seems like it's becoming meta again.
How about Eurus's performance on the hero itself? Is there anything that you can do that makes a Spectre performance impressive?
I mean, I think the thing he did best is he chose the right fights to join and the right fights to dodge. Because like if you go in the wrong fights, you die. Your item progression is very slowed down because obviously you don't have any flash farm abilities. Like you always need to stay on top of the farm.
Unless you get the coat, which he did, and then you just go through the jungle.
Oh, the chipped vest?
Oh, the chipped vest,
yeah.
The coat, yeah.
Then you go through the jungle and you just have a discount blade mail.
How much is it?
On a Spectre.
The thing.
It gives you 5 regen now, right?
Yeah, 5 regen, but how much return damage is it?
It kills the creeps. It gets the job done. I'm not the numbers guy. I'm the take
Let's
the
say
item.
20.
It just feels good.
Yeah, and then blade mail on top.
And then dispersion on top.
Yeah, it's like
literally
50 per hit.
It's like the creeps are paying you to kill them.
No, I mean Spectre were buying blade mails in the last patch when they were when the hero was popular because you go to the ancients and you farm them with the blade mail.
Yeah, you stack 3, buy 2 healing salves, let them basically kill themselves.
Yeah, rotk, I guess he'll be satisfied. No stern words after that performance.
I mean, it can always get better, you know. They're definitely going to go through those replays. They'll be like, what was it early game, guys? Next time.
True.
You're in trouble.
Storm, that first game, 40 versus 20 on CS on TA. Have to do 60 next time.
Yeah, could be 40-10.
Exactly.
What are you doing? Insane.
And then for QQQ, I don't really know if there's anything that he needs to reevaluate. I didn't have any issues with their drafts, really.
No, it was most of the gameplay. They just looked kind of too slow for Elephant, really. Like, the early game was okay, the lanes were strong and they're better heroes, but come mid-game, they just got outpaced, out-strategized, out-moved, destroyed, taken down. No chance.
Well, we can take a look at how all the teams have stood up in so far. This is day 3, end of week 1. You guys saw it at the beginning.
Not a whole lot of games.
We just have home. We took away the E from them.
Home.
After this game, they're going
home.
They're still doing well. They got their win.
Yeah, they still have time. There are some other teams that they have to look forward to, like major winners, IG or PSG LGD.
Easy wins.
Easy games, right?
Or Asta with Boboka, yeah. Elephant also beat the top of the group. Damn unexpected.
Damn.
It was such an uphill battle. But they managed to clench it out 2-0.
They managed to take it.
Just the skin of the teeth.
Yeah. Homed EHOME.
Yep. Just a fun series to watch, and like you can definitely see that Elephant, they're ticking on a bit faster of a beat with everything that they do in the game. And me as a player that got handled by many of these tier 1s, I can completely relate. Like it feels kind of similar. You're doing everything right, but you're just not doing it fast enough.
Yeah, you're too slow. Yeah. Enemy team is too fast. That means they're going to be in position faster. You're like, oh, I'll play it again. And you try it again, and it keeps happening. It's very difficult. Like, these teams are really fast. Like, you can just see they get 1 kill, instantly smoked up, get the next kill. Like, they're not prepared at all.
Yeah, and Sylar, I think, is also kind of still finding his place a little bit between both their series.
He also has been out of the scene for quite a while, only been playing pubs. You know? So it's going to be quite a while until he's comfortable in a competitive environment again.
Maybe when Lycan comes back into the meta.
Yeah.
Maybe that will help.
Not anytime soon.
All right, well, we can take a look at what we have remaining for, I mean, this was just, again, end of week 1. But we will come back on April 20th with Elephant versus SAG.
Oof.
This one's probably going to be a free win.
Probably.
I don't want to take anything away from Sparking Arrow Gaming, but this was one of the lower division promotions, along with Royal Never Give Up. But
so far, they look the least impressive.
Yeah.
They also lost to Royal Never Give Up. That lost to
EHOME. That got crushed by Elephant.
Elephant.
So transitive property.
Exactly.
Rough. But you should still tune in regardless.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Have fun.
Maybe they can win.
A game.
Look, there was a lot of teams experimenting with cheese picks. We had Huskars, we had Broodmothers, so maybe a Meepo here and there as well. I've seen JT spamming it too. So
offlane?
Nah, you would play it just.
I've seen offlane SFs.
I've seen offlane Tinkers.
I was watching Synderen play 4-position Ricky.
There you go.
I lost against that.
Yeah,
you lost against it.
The new shot is so broken.
I know. Sleeping Dart is crazy.
Yeah, Elder Titan sleep on like 12 seconds cooldown.
And targeted like 1,000 range or something.
Yeah.
Coming to your pubs.
Hated it.
Lost to it.
Absolutely hated it. I thought I was invulnerable. Like before the previous patch, I was like, nah. Wraith King walks up, I'm just dead. Okay. Thank you. OS Frog.
So you have a problem with the new dart?
Yes.
Ricky?
Because the old one was really strong already. The new one is just absolutely absurdly broken. It is.
Okay, time to play some Ricky.
Yes, do it.
That's
I did
my
it too.
hero.
I won super
Today,
easily.
what are your plans to play today? Like, what you gonna?
You said you were going to play mid Sand King.
Sand
Yeah,
King,
you said you're
definitely.
playing Sand King.
I'm definitely gonna win some MMR with Bounty again.
Yeah.
That hero is just. Right now I'm on 35, maybe 30 wins, 29.
I'm gonna stick to one-shotting supports with Mars.
Mars is a good idea.
I'm going to get
So Ricky as well.
all them Beastmaster wins while I still can.
Oh, yeah,
'cause
Beastmaster. I haven't played Beast this patch yet. I should start.
I just ban him, and if he's not banned, I pick him, and then it gets banned because someone else.
Let me tell you, 7.29C is coming soon. That's why you better make sure you get them wins now. But enjoy the rest of your day. Go to sleep, whatever it is, wherever time zone you're in. We will be back on April 20th with more Chinese Dota. We'll see you then.
Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream again. Yeah. Facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in. Waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream, 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 dream. We tried to work this out before, but now I'm stronger. Ignite the fire once more, but I don't want you. Tracing city lights, make it right. I don't wanna press play. Ooh, days washing away. Facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in. Waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. tear away my skin, see me from within. Waterborne, I'm rain, thunder, ocean born. You can't drown me. You can't drown me. Heart that glows to the moon and the Neptune. Rivers course my blood. My breath is thunder. Lay me by your side, sway me with your tide. We've got a tempest stirring up inside. Waterborne, I'm rain, thunder, ocean born. You can't drown me. No, you can't drown me. Heart that glows to the moon and the Neptune. Rivers course our blood. Our breath is thunder. No, you can't tame a hurricane.